Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close, I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed. Right here.
You are a one-on-one?
My son's right about
I
it.
don't think I've ever said this before.
Okay, so a special episode today because this happens to be the 700th episode of PBD Podcast. 700th episode of PBD Podcast. And by the way, on a Monday, after a weekend, what the hell happened this weekend?
Jeez.
Like, seriously, what happened this weekend? You got Rob Reiner, we're being told a 78-year-old man is found in a 78-year-old Rob Reiner's house with a 66 or 68-year-old woman who happens to be the age of his wife. And then you're like, what? Did they do it to themselves? Because the first thing you think about is Gene Hackman. What happened there? That was a weird story. No, it's the son because the daughter walks in. And the son may have been it because they were having Hanukkah celebration and things got heated over certain conversations. Who knows? And then we hear stories about Australia this entire weekend at Bondi Beach, whatever they call it, Bondi Beach.
Bondi. I've been there.
With a, man, father and son, Islamic terrorist pulls up, kill 15 innocent people ages 10 to 87 years old, with a 43-year-old man, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who comes and takes one of the weapons away from a guy, gets shot twice, hospitalized, seen as a hero. And some are saying he's a Christian, some are saying he's a Muslim. I saw the interview of his parents interviewing that were both Muslims. Most likely he's a Muslim, could be a Christian, who knows. That happens this weekend. And the Prime Minister of Australia 3 months ago said something in a speech, I got to show it to you. And then the celebration by certain people, and Imam celebrating what happened in Australia. Finally, we're waking up. Finally, we're doing what we're doing. And all of this happening, and a lot of video clips are resurfacing from a few years ago, one from 7 years ago, where a man, you're going to know who this is, said if you allow immigrants to come in the way they are in Europe, you're going to lose your identity, and there's going to be many events like this happening. And they are happening. Then you have Brown University, who we saw this beautiful young lady. She was leading the Republican Party, I think, of one of the events at the school, Tom, if I'm not mistaken. And she's no longer with us. And then the suspect, you have videos of him running. What's his background? Is he in 11 Bravo? Was he in the military? Do we know? Do we not know? There's a bunch of things being speculated. And it's fair to say Ilhan Omar had a very rough weekend this weekend.
She's had a rough month.
Yeah, and she is...
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so, but maybe she likes it rough. I don't know. She was the one that was saying
Ask
that,
her
brother, Ted Cruz, is coming out and saying that marrying and incest, she may be deported. She may be getting arrested. Just a lot of things that's going on over there. And then Tim Walz coming out and talking about the fact that, hey, we're going to even let more Somalians into our state because that's what we're going to do. And then Bob Iger comes out of nowhere and says, it's not good for Netflix to acquire, Time Warner. This is not good for the market. Says the guy that bought everybody.
Yeah.
Says the guy that bought
It
Marvel,
could be a Disney
Pixar,
duopoly. Don't
Star
want
Wars.
that.
But no, I don't want Netflix to buy them.
No.
I don't want that to be taking place. Come on, Bob. Step down already. Step down already and go run for politics. Do something else. But I think it's fair to say there's a lot of stories to be covered today. So if you're in, and then by the way, Erika Kirk tweets that she has agreed to have a private meeting with Candace Owens. I don't know what the date and the details are, but there you go. They've agreed to meet. Oh, today. Okay. Fantastic. A private meeting, no live stream. The Republican live stream tweets are off. Okay. So they're having a meeting first before they go live stream. And who knows what that conversation is going to be. But guess what? At least they're having it. Yep. Some people are saying, how dare she meet? And why would she meet? And why would they this? And why would this? Listen, diplomacy is nasty. World leaders do this every day, twice on Sunday. That's their job. You meet with an enemy, and hopefully they come out of the meeting in a better place. Nobody knows, but we'll definitely talk about that as well. And I think there was even a meeting this weekend that she was a part of She was speaking, right? She was speaking at it.
The
was there
town hall. The town
town hall.
Carly's doing a town hall with Barry Weiss.
Yeah,
the town hall with Barry Weiss that was taking place. And so let me get into a couple of these stories here. American masculinity has a new unit of measurement, the pull-up. How many pull-ups can you do? We talk about that. Adam chose that story. I'm assuming he can do probably 2 or 3 pull-ups.
At least.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Brown shooting. We'll talk about Ilhan Omar. We'll talk about Pritzker bill legalizing assisted suicide.
As if Chicago isn't murdering like he's.
Well, maybe he's onto something. Who knows?
Maybe he wants to break the record.
Maybe
Don't
he's-
wait for someone to kill you.
do it first, so you can't say somebody else did it.
yourself.
Yeah. Newsom's California exposed #1 hub for illegal CDL licensing.
Really?
Safety crisis ignites federal fury. And Nicki Minaj.
I love her.
Listen, I'm starting to become a Nicki Minaj fan.
I love her.
Over what's the other girl's
Bunny?
name? No.
Cardi B?
Cardi B.
Yeah.
Oh, Cardi
Salt
B is
and
not
Pepper?
even up
Nicki
there.
Salt and Pepper's
MC
old
Light?
school. MC Light, keeping on.
Yeah, I know
Right?
PBD would like that. Not a fan of Megan Thee Stallion, though.
All right, no, stop right there. Blast Gavin Newsom saying he wants to see trans kids.
Yeah,
it's
he does.
the end of the road for you. Nicki Minaj says. Okay, good for her. Bondi Beach, we'll talk about 3 Americans killed in ISIS attack in Syria, Trump says, vowing to retaliate. And then CNN falls into Trump's crosshairs amid Netflix and Warner Brothers Paramount fight. We know what that's all about, because if David Ellison does buy them, some things could change.
And Pat, Trump at the Army-Navy game?
Army-Navy
Goosebumps.
game. Yes, Army-Navy game.
Goosebumps.
And then we got a few other things here that we got to get through. Anyways, it's a lot of stories, to say the least. Schumer had a bad weekend. Some of the comments he made, the guy just, listen, retire. Retire. I watched LeBron yesterday have 5 turnovers in the first quarter. Retire already. You're not even a good teammate anymore.
Get out.
He was bitching and whining about, who's the guy that was defending him and accidentally taps the ball, hits his head, is whining, crying. The guy's got to get kicked out. Is pulling the ref's arm. LeBron should be suspended for 5 games.
Yep.
LeBron should be suspended for 5 games for being frustrated that it's no longer his team, and he goes and takes the free throw shot, the technical shot that should have been Luka's. And he said, I've been doing this my entire life. That even J.J. Redick says, no, Luka should have taken it. So, LeBron, Bob Iger, and Chuck Schumer should all retire.
Retire.
Right?
Retire.
LeBron, Chuck Schumer.
Throw in the towels.
We should. Who agrees with this? That LeBron, Chuck Schumer, and Bob Iger should all retire. I think that's a good messaging
with
right
you.
there.
Well,
So here's what we're doing.
Latravel, the flopper, should
Here's what we're
Get a
doing.
rocking
Here's
chair.
what we're doing. 400 to 700 episode. Folks, if you watch this and you love the PBD podcast, or if you love this and you hate us, but you watch it anyways, either way, we love you. We appreciate you. Here's what we're doing. Go out there and go on X, okay? Say whatever you want to say about our 700 episode. I will read them, okay, on X. Use hashtag PBD podcast. I'm going to take a handful of them, give anywhere between $100 to $700 of cash sent over your way, because it's Christmas around the corner. So we want to give cash to celebrate those of you, especially those of you that have been with us. Go on X, hashtag PBD podcast, 700 episode. What you like about Vinny, Adam, Tom, maybe what you don't like about Adam, maybe what you like about some of the stuff that we do, and post it on there. We will pick a few winners, and we'll highlight some of them at the end of the show here today. And with that being said, guys, exciting news here on what happened. I got a report this morning. Let me tell you what this report is. Do you not got the report this morning because of Christmas shopping? We've been doing a lot of Christmas shopping ourselves. My son's got the longest Christmas shopping list he's ever had.
Dylan?
Oh, my God. And by the way,
man.
so many of the items are old dinosaur, what do you call
Legos.
it? He's all into dinosaur Legos that we got to go try to find. We got to go find. We got to tell Santa to go find.
Of course.
And he's been doing a lot of stuff. So Christmas shopping. You know what this is? Since the vault till today, I've only not worn these 3 days. Every day I've worn these. And you know why this is a special week? Because the white and the navy are officially here being shipped out this week. They're being shipped out this week. So I want to give you a report that I got this morning
The white is
on how many countries have ordered these shoes. You ready? In order, okay, of orders, of who's ordered the most. Obviously, U.S. is number 1. Number 2 is Canada. Surprisingly, Canada's
Nice.
number 2. I have to look to see if Pierre won it or not, because I don't know if he believes future looks bright. I hope he did. Australia, 23. Interesting. Australia's diehard fans of the podcast, by the way. Australia 3X'd UK. Okay?
Damn.
Then you got Slovenia. Then you got UAE. UAE makes it in the top 6 of people ordering the shoe. Do you know who's next? Saudi Arabia. Then it's Malaysia, Poland, Croatia, Bulgaria. Then it's Switzerland, Ireland, Czech, Oman, Norway, and guess who's last?
Oman, little old Oman.
Israel is last. They did buy, though, but they're last. So somebody there
But they
said...
get a good discount, yes.
No discount for the shoes.
Damn.
But guess what? To everybody that's watching this, I love the amount of people that are ordering the shoes. Some interesting people are ordering the shoes and wearing them. I'm in love with them. But for Christmas, folks, Rob, if you can go on a VT merch, I want to show you guys a shirt for Christmas, especially those of you guys that watch it. Whatever you do, stay up a little bit, Rob. Get yours. You're going to fall in love with these Christmas hats. Okay? I'm personally giving these Christmas hats away as gifts to some of the folks that I have. These may be the sickest red Christmas hats in the world ever, especially at a time that some people are playing the game, Christ, Christmas, what it's all about, celebrating it, whether it's the green, this is a hot item, buy 5, buy 10, buy 20, gift them to others. You will not be disappointed. On the right, that says Future Looks Bright. On the side, it says VTN. When you flip it, I don't even know if it shows the bottom, Future Looks Bright. It's a sick hat, Rob. If you can
Sold
go back.
out last year.
Yeah, I know it did. So, but we got a few left. If you go back to that page, go a little bit lower. I want to show you that shirt. You see that shirt right there? To those of you guys, the one to the left. Can you zoom into that one and go in, Rob?
Who the hell is on
Well,
that?
you have to zoom in a little bit, folks. This is like OG.
Who's that?
If you go in a little bit, zoom in, you will see. Will it go in a good quality zoom in? Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Can you see it? That's me in the middle.
Is that me as an elf?
That's Vinny as an elf.
Adam.
That's Adam as a
Adam
Jew.
has a Hanukkah.
That's Rob in the back.
Another elf.
And then you got Tom to the right.
Dude, that's
And
hilarious.
yours truly in
Punch
the
a
middle.
little
So
bit,
it's
Rob.
I want that.
on the back of it, I think it says PBD podcast, Rob. If you don't have it or not, if you want to go to the back. Yeah, right there.
Nice.
There you
There we
go. All
go.
right.
I like that
So
logo.
go to vtmerch.com, place the order, and we're about to make a massive announcement about Future Looks Bright that I'm excited about. Once it closes, I'll make the announcement to you guys here today. So again, for Christmas, if you order today, things will arrive to you, and anybody that places an order, you get a Merry Christmas Future Looks Bright ornament and a Merry Christmas Valuetainment Edition mug that'll be sent to you as well. So go place your order, represent, and we'll send the gifts over to you. We'll send your merch over to you this week. All right, so let's get into the story. Rob, what is at the top of the story? What is at the top of the story?
Right now, Bondi Beach shooting.
Bondi
That's what
Beach
the
shooting.
audience
Okay,
wants to
so
hear.
let's go to Bondi Beach shooting. So Bondi Beach shooting. What clips can we show? Can we show?
I pulled everything that doesn't involve any type of bodies or anything like that.
Okay, but we can show. So let's go through some of the stats of what we have. Father and son terrorists. Okay, Islamist terrorists decide to shoot up an event that's taking place at Bondi Beach, Australia. Family celebrating Hanukkah. Okay, and they shoot up from a bridge, father and son, and kill 15 people, I believe is the latest number, ages 10 to 87 years old, 42 plus, still hospitalized. One man named Ahmed Al-Ahmed steps up to take the weapon away, which we've all seen, Rob. If you want to play the clip of the hero who just steps up out of nowhere, 43-year-old man, who I believe has a fruit stand. Yep. This man right here, Rob, if you want to play the clip, you know how much courage it takes to do something like this?
Oh, my God. Good for him.
Think about that. And by the way, you know they teach you in training, if you're in the movies, if you're in the theater, and somebody comes up with a gun, you know what they tell you to do in training? They tell you to walk up to them and run up to them and grab them.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead the other way around. Not everybody, but somebody for them to do. And look at this guy.
Pat, and by the way, that's the father. The father goes and rejoins the son to start shooting more people because he has more
And I
weapons.
don't know if you see it there, but the guy who now has the gun, who is the hero, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, he walks around that tree the other side, and he is struck in the shoulder
by the son.
by the son who shot him. So
Yeah.
he could have died right there.
And not only that, he could have killed the son's father and gave him mercy. And the guy still went up on the bridge, grabbed another gun, and started shooting. Yeah. So, look, I got a lot of thoughts on this one here. But, Vinny, I'll go to you first. What do you know? What was your reaction? What do you think's really going on here?
Well, the fact that father and son, what ideology do you have? And I love people online. Everybody's going after me. They were talking crap. They're like, you don't know. And obviously they're going to bring in Israel. I'm like, these are two Pakistan terrorists, father and son. Stop this whole false flag nonsense bullshit. I'm sorry. It got to a point where I was like, bro, these are two people that have an ideology that is just like kill. Like, what does a 10-year-old kid have to do with anything? And yes, this was a Jewish event. Guess who they shot? everybody. There wasn't. They weren't looking for yarmulke people. They were shooting every single person that was there. And just FYI to everybody, they killed non-Jews. Just letting you know. They probably shot some Muslims. They probably shot some Christians. They definitely shot some Christians. Okay. And by the way, just two things that drove me crazy. The response of the law enforcement in Australia was abysmal. For 20 minutes, nothing was going on, and there was witnesses that were there that were saying cops were scared, they froze, they were hiding behind vehicles. And what drove me crazy too, Pat, is one guy, Rob, do you have the shot of the guy that was recording on the bridge from the opposite side of the bridge, and we'll just show... it was actually the side angle. It was like, but anyway, guys, and yeah, Rob, I'm going to ask this for 2 seconds. They recorded for 12 minutes. 12 minutes they recorded these guys shooting until they were shot and one of them was killed. Where's the cop? Where's the response from law enforcement? And I was talking with Chad before this in New Zealand, in these places. The cops have their guns. Some of them have their guns. They're locked in their vehicle or locked in the back. They have bean bags, they have tasers, and they have, what is it? They have batons. Like, and by the way, strictest gun law, probably in the world, Australia is one of them. Only 3% of the population has guns, and this is, and I want to show, guys, you tell me what type of training. This is a bolt action. I don't know if it's I find out the name of it, Rob, but look at this. Tell me, whoever shot a bolt action, look at this action that he's doing. Go ahead, Rob. Look at this. Boom, 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 reload. Dude, that's
smooth.
That guy has been trained.
He's been trained. There's no way you know that's an average guy.
That's not an average guy. And how, by the way, this guy and his father, they had 6 guns, well trained. It was on a mission. And by the way, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. Australia, okay, DC with the National Guards, Syria, soldiers. When are we going to stop pretending? Not us, but the powers that be, that this is not just a one-off. And then people like Mamdani who are like this globalized Intifada bullshit, whatever. Intifada, Nelly Furtado, I don't give a damn. Whatever the hell you want to call it. When are we going to stop pretending? Okay, because there's one book that these people are following that calls for freaking murder and death of non-believers. And if I hear one more person message me and try to say, well, in the Old Testament, Samuel was you're bringing up one war story in the Old Testament. When Jesus Christ came on the scene in the New Testament, where does he call for murder? Where does he call for killing the innocent? Where does he call for stabbing people in the neck? Where does he hook up with a 9-year-old? Go ahead and try to show me that. Okay, this is a different, Pat, this is something evil and it's brewing. And the last point I'm going to make, and I'm sorry for going so long, do not, and I'm not a fear monger. We don't do fear. Our future looks bright. It does look bright because we have God on our side, okay? But my thing is this, and I want everybody, this isn't fear mongering. This is be on point and keep your head on a swivel. 2 million, Thomas Homan said this last week, 2 million gotaways. Gotaways are in this country, and don't forget all those Middle Eastern guys that were here lining up that came in here, and that one guy that said, soon you will know my name. Soon you're going to know who I am, okay? So I'm not trying to scare everybody, but be on point and be ready, because this is just the beginning.
Tom.
Well, I'll tell you, I am equally concerned by the police response. They appeared to be poorly trained and poorly prepared. Yep. They could be great cops, physically fit, good with their weapons, but then there's training to respond to a live shooting like this. And they say that the police froze rather than move. Now, there were 2 officers that supposedly attempted to pick a flanking vector yep. to get to the, and they were shot.
Yes.
And so they actually shot. They did not kill them. The 2 police officers there, but the list of people, I went down through it, and it was Rabbi Eli Schlonger, who was a respected leader. He was the organizer of the event. Apparently, he was up speaking, and they took him down, and he was killed. And then Alex Klaitman is an elderly survivor of the Holocaust, Adam, that shielded his wife and rolled over on her, and apparently was shot twice and succumbed at the scene. So this was absolutely, there was more than just Jewish people that were shot, but this was the shooting was aimed at the Jewish people who were there celebrating Hanukkah, and they got their target. Tragically, horribly, they were prepared and they were trained and they got their target. Sadly for me, Pat, maybe you want to pick up from here. ASIO, which is Australia's sort of intelligence agency, defense intelligence agency, they had identified these guys.
Oh, weird.
And they were on their list, but after a review, they said they were not an immediate threat. And they also found IEDs that they called capably designed. That was all I could find on it, that the police found IEDs in their car, their vehicle,
Yeah, and ISIS
and
flag.
they said that they were capably designed. So I guess that what they're saying is, Pat, is that those were legitimate devices that could have been set off.
Adam, I have a bunch of thoughts, but
Of course.
Adam.
Well, look, they always target the Jews first, but never last. So if you're thinking, well, I'm not Jewish, I have nothing to worry about, you got another thing coming, ladies and gentlemen out there. If you're not familiar with Bondi Beach, I've been there.
Me too.
I have a very good friend, and I want to give him his credit. Bondi Beach is like Venice Beach in LA, or Waikiki in Hawaii, and or Ipanema in Brazil, South Beach, Miami. It's a tourist attraction. This isn't some random spot. This is one of the most scenic, well-known beaches in the world. And thanks to Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, your historic, iconic beach will no longer be known for surf and waves and beautiful people with tan bodies. It is now known as Islamic terrorism hub, where people get murdered like sitting ducks, boom, 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 when they're just trying to enjoy the beach. And let's be clear here. This was, yes, a Hanukkah event. It's a beach. They're shooting indiscriminately. The most ironic part, I guarantee you there's just regular, everyday Australians just hanging out at the beach. I'm willing to bet, since there's been so much anti-Semitism in Australia, that someone who got murdered was probably part of the Free Palestine protest. That's how ridiculous Australia's been going. So I've been having conversations with my one friend in Australia, and he was actually supposed to be at this event. He has 2 young daughters, 3 and 1. And the reason he was going to go is because he was going to take them to the petting zoo. And he had a headache and decided not to go. And if he was there, him and his kids and his wife maybe would have been murdered. But if you recognize, and I've been texting with him nonstop for the past year, I said, what's going on in Australia? And it's been a slow drip. He's like, I don't feel safe in my own country. They're inviting terrorism here. Hamas protest, Hezbollah protest. It's everywhere. And the reality is this: if you flirt with terrorism, hey guys, no, come on in. Hamas, yeah, we're all friends here. Free Palestine, sure, yeah, Hezbollah. You're inviting the wolf into the henhouse. And the number one thing that I want to convey is this whole concept of tolerance. PBD, we've talked about this. I know this was a major word in your life, and you've sort of abandoned the word, right? Tolerance. How about we flip it? 0 tolerance for terrorism. 0 tolerance for people who want to kill you. The West is murdering themselves. There's a common thread here with Canada, with the UK, and with Australia. Isn't this all part of the crown, part of the God Save the Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Soon enough, there'll be Allah Save the Queen.
It's Commonwealth.
Because,
UK,
yeah, the
Canada,
Commonwealth.
It's called the
So
Commonwealth.
you're flirting with terrorism. You're under the guise, these progressive, weak leaders, Anthony Albanese, Keir Starmer, Mark Carney, Justin Trudeau, these male feminists want to pander to votes, and this is what you get. You're tearing down your own country
So-
for the sake of tolerance.
I got you. So I want to show you a couple clips here. Elon Musk is on Rogan. They're having a conversation about a book that Gatsad wrote, and the conversation is around what's the word they're using, Rob? If you can go back to the tweet, can you go back to the tweet? The word that they're using is suicidal empathy.
empathy.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want you to watch this here. I want you to watch what suicidal empathy means and the way Musk breaks it down. Go ahead, Rob.
There's a guy who posts on X who's great, Godsad, and he talks about basically suicidal empathy. Mm-hmm. Like if there's so much empathy that you actually suicide yourself.
Yeah.
So that we've got civilizational suicidal empathy going on. And it's like, I believe in empathy. Like, I think you should care about other people, but you need to have empathy for civilization as a whole, and not commit civilizational suicide.
Also, don't let someone use your empathy against you so they can completely control your state and then do an insanely bad job of managing it and never get removed.
The fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. The empathy exploit. They're exploiting a bug in Western civilization, which is the empathy response. I think empathy is good, but you need to think it through and not just be programmed like a robot.
Right. Understand when empathy has been actually used as a tool.
Yes. It's weaponized empathy is the issue.
Okay, so he's explaining this. There's two clips I want to go through with this. Suicidal empathy, right? Suicidal empathy. There's a guy that's going around, okay, Rob, if you have that clip, there's a guy that's going around asking people if they're willing to take a refugee in. And he's got a little clipboard with him, this guy right here, YouTuber. He's asking protesters, okay, hey, we know you're out here because it's not fair what they're doing to refugees. Well, I'm with you guys. But hey, he's got a clipboard to say, are you willing to adopt a refugee? Look, this is the part where people will act until there's the action, and I'll look how they react to this. Go ahead, Rob.
If you'd like to go down on a list saying you're willing to take the refugees into your home.
Of course not. The problem is I rent.
You rent?
Yeah.
Maybe an issue?
Yeah, because they've got,
going on a list of people that's actually willing to adopt a refugee and take them into your home?
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
You can't take one? You don't have the space? My name's Jim. Jim. Just because you've got that refugees welcome here, I'm just wondering if you'd like to go on a list of people that's willing to actually adopt a refugee and take them into your home?
Well, if I had any space, I would.
If you had any space.
It wouldn't be...
Weird. Right. Excuse me, sir. Would you be willing to adopt a refugee?
I would be willing, yeah, if I had the space.
If you had the space?
Yeah.
So, where should we put them then?
Where should we put them?
Yeah. Would you be willing to have a refugee in your home?
Yes, if I had room.
If you had room, it's funny.
Do you see the pattern? It's funny what everybody else is saying, right? Now, let me continue with this. Let me tell you what happened in Australia. There's this clip, Rob, they can go to. Here's what an imam, how he is celebrating what's going on in Australia. Not this one, Rob. It's you had it a minute ago. You have it up. It's one of the clips that you had up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Not that one. Not that one. Keep going to like the sixth one, Rob. Go. You had a clip that's celebrating what just happened. You just had it, Rob. You literally just had it up. So I don't know which one it was. Anyways, so there's an imam that is celebrating in Australia, Sydney. What just took place? Okay, I just texted it to you, Rob. He's celebrating what just took place. And look at the passion he has on what is happening. Look at the passion he has. Look how he is communicating with his folks and what he's saying. Now, this looks like it's from yesterday, after what the event took place, okay?
Oh, okay, I sent this around.
Watch this. I'm smiling.
I'm smiling and I'm happy. I'm elated. It's a day of courage.
It's a day of courage.
Allah Akbar.
Okay, so you can pause this. This is a clip that, by the way, just so everybody knows,
in Australia.
This is Australia after October 7th event takes place.
He goes, he's excited and he's happy.
But this has been happening for a minute.
Oh,
now let me show you another one. Here's two nurses in Australia. Okay, guys calling, having a civil conversation with two nurses in Australia that work in hospitals. Look at the way he reacts. Go ahead, Rob.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you, my man?
Pretty good. Are you a nurse, a doctor?
I'm a doctor, my man.
A doctor? For what?
In hospital. What about you? Where are you from?
I'm from Israel, from the Holy Land.
You know what? I'm going to be really honest with you.
All right.
I'm going to be really honest with you. You actually got a really, really beautiful eyes.
Thank you,
but
man.
I'm so upset that you're Israeli. Like, eventually you're going to get killed and you're going to go to Jahannam, inshallah.
Jahannam is hell.
These pretty eyes, they should stay in this world for longer.
Why do you think? Why do you think I'm gonna get killed?
It's Palestine's country, not
Hello,
your country. You piece
how are
of
you?
shit.
What's your name?
One day, your time will come and you will die the most.
Just keep watching.
We spread
listen to me.
peace.
Listen to me.
And
when
you
your-
spread
when your
death.
time comes.
How
when
are
your
you
time
doctors?
comes,
Wait.
I want you to remember my face.
Okay,
so
okay.
You can understand
Gotcha.
That you will
I have
die
a question
the most
though.
disgusting death.
All right, for sure. I have a question though.
Yeah, what's
I have a question. Let's say an Israeli,
I
God
won't treat
forbid,
them. I won't treat them. I'll kill them.
you'll kill them. So if an
is
Israeli is in Australia and God forbid something happened to him and he comes
Not
to your
God forbid.
hospital,
I hope to God.
would you kill him?
Okay, you have no idea how many Israeli Khara dog came to this hospital and I sent him to Jahannam. I
For
literally
real?
sent him to Jahannam.
Pause it right there. All right. So what does that sound like? By the way, again, this is the part that a lot of people keep talking about. I said a few words yesterday. I cannot believe you're saying they're false flag. This is what's going on. They're trying to use this to ID, and Australia is going to use this to increase the tensions, and Israel's loving this because they're going to use this to try to, silence them, and they're going to use it as you cannot say any opinions because of what's going on. This is all an act. Really? Yeah. Okay. Check this out. Check this out. Two terrorists, Pakistani terrorists, Muslim jihadists in Australia, who are not from there. They went there as refugees. Killed 15 people ages 10 to 87 years old. Can you pull up the picture of the young 10-year-old girl that was killed, Rob? 10 to 87 years old, okay?
From
This
different
10-year-old
walks. Yep.
is someone's daughter.
Jeez.
There was a French soccer player that also got killed there, 19-year-old, 20-year-old French soccer player that also got killed. You can get the list on BBC. This is Matilda. That's someone's daughter, okay, that was killed. So while this is happening, the guy that saved him happens to be a Muslim. They say he's a Muslim. Some are saying he's a Maronite Christian, but they say he's a Muslim. And Ahmed Al-Ahmed, I watched an interview of his parents of what happened afterwards. Gets shot up twice. Does this guy give you the vibes of a peaceful Muslim? Does he give you a vibe of a peaceful Muslim?
He gives me the vibes of someone who's doing the right thing.
He gives me the vibe of a peaceful human being. Okay? But check this out.
He's a hero.
Even one peaceful Muslim who could have taken the guy's father's life when he walked away, gave him mercy. The other guy still, with the mercy that was given to him, didn't return the mercy and came back and killed him. You let a snake go and you're like, you know what, I'm going to spare this guy's life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you let the snake be in the backyard while your kids are playing, that snake's going to spare your kid's life? No mercy for you. They're not wired like you. They don't think like you. They don't live like you. They don't have the same values like you. They live in a very different way, folks. They live in a very different way. Even if only 10% of them are extremists and they believe in the jihadists and all these other things that they follow, even if it's 10%, 10% alone is more powerful than the 90%, because the 90%, you notice, he didn't even do anything to take the guy's life. He gave him mercy. The 90% was a guy's like, listen, let this man go. I'm going to spare his life. The guy goes up, grabs a different weapon, starts killing people. What do you do then? So now Americans are like, well, but this is fear porn. Well, don't listen to me. Listen to another Muslim man who escaped an ISIS environment, and look what he's saying. You have it up there, Rob. This isn't it. Okay, if you can go to the next clip, not this one, Rob, keep going. Right there. Watch what he's saying. And maybe, Rob, if you can fast forward 20 seconds when he starts speaking, from right there. Yeah, watch this here. When he says it is the beginning. Watch this, folks. Okay, go ahead.
Is the current beginning of the death. It's already happening. There are areas in France where Christians cannot walk freely. President Macron has come out saying that the Islamist movements want to secede from France. This is a leader of a country telling you that he has lost control. He's admitting finally that he has lost control. There are serious agendas being played in that region. Look, I am a Muslim, but I cannot live in an Islamist theocracy. I can live in a Christian government based on their constitution, because that is where peace lies. I can't live in a place where ISIS rules the area. That's no Muslim with a brain that works would want to live under ISIS, right? And when we come to the West trying to warn the governments and intelligence agencies about what is happening, about the people we fled from, we have this new political correctness agenda that tells us or we're the racist, we're the ones who are traitors, and the extremist needs to be understood and embraced, and they have a point, let's listen to them. And sooner or later, they're in parliament, they're in government, and there you go in America, you have Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib changing the narrative in Washington that is now affecting the whole, influencing and affecting the narrative around the world, attacking Jews, attacking Christians, and this is just the beginning. So if Christians don't wake up, Christian leaders don't wake up, then we Muslims who fled from extremists can't help you anymore.
We Muslims who escape from extremism can't help you anymore. They're telling you what the DNA is. Now, some may ask the question and say, well, then why are you still a Muslim? Why are you not a Christian yourself? And that's a, theological debate to have. But here's the vision. You got, when you're sitting there going up against the competitor and the competitor tells you clearly to your eyes what his vision is, why are you questioning him? That's their vision. Go ahead and play the vision. Here's a Muslim leader in Chicago.
These days we don't repeat this enough, or we don't have this aqidah concept firm in our minds that Islam did not come to coexist.
Okay. Good to know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Islam لا يعلى. Islam يعلو ولا يعلى عليه. And Islam is raised high and nothing is raised above Islam. We can't think of Islam that it came to live with these other religions, in the sense that Islam is a religion amongst those religions, and they have a share with the truth. And they have a share of justice. And they have a share of, this worship of Allah, the correct worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam came to correct all of that. Islam came to remove the oppression of all those religions, and it is the only truth, and it is the only way to justice.
It's the only truth, guys.
It's the only truth. It's the only way of justice. And you can continue, Rob. I mean, I can continue. Go to this video. Here's a man who is in the streets questioning and condemning pedophilia. And look at the students there. You can tell he's pretty well-read and reasonable. He can't even answer a basic question. Go ahead, Rob.
He raped a 9-year-old girl, Aisha. He is the most
This
revered man in the
UT
entirety
Dallas,
of the religion.
University of Texas,
He
Dallas.
raped a 9-year-old girl and married a 6-year-old.
So, what defines a child?
What defines a child?
I'm not going to define what a child is for you. A 6-year-old is a child. She was playing with dolls
This
when
isn't
he
US.
raped her.
No, a person who enters into puberty in Islam is defined as an adult. That's why 13-year-old men.
So let's get this straight.
Pause it right there. Pause it
Let's
right
get
there.
this
If you're watching this, folks, do you agree with that? If in Islam, if a child goes and has puberty, it's no longer a child. Do you agree with that? Should we take on that ideology? This is not at University of, Pakistan. This is Dallas, Texas, known as one of the most conservative cities in America. Okay? This is not, they're not going to like UC Berkeley. This ain't Dearborn. This ain't Minnesota. This is Dallas. You know who lives in Dallas? A ton of rich Republicans. He's saying it in Dallas. Keep playing this video, by the way. Watch this.
To have sex with people who had puberty?
Right now, I'm saying.
But you're acknowledging that in Islam, it's okay to have sex with people who have had puberty.
I'm not acknowledging that.
You
I'm
just
saying
said it.
In Islam, and the adult is defined by someone who has reached the age of puberty.
So you are acknowledging that in Islam, it's okay to marry and have sex with people who have reached puberty. Yes.
Not being explicit.
Okay. So I also believe that having sex with people just who have hit puberty is incompatible with the West. 14-year-olds hit puberty all the time. You
And
can't have
that's the
sex with
question.
14-year-olds. I'm sorry, Muslims.
And that's the question.
I'm not expressing.
By the way, and that's the question. I have a John Morgan the other day, billionaire who owns Morgan & Morgan, okay? And he says in his family, he has 4 kids. They got married to somebody else. He's having a conversation. One of his sons, he tells me, comes to him and says, Dad, I'm willing to get married to this girl. She's willing to marry me, but there's a couple things she wants to change in our prenup because they have a very strong prenup, meaning our wealth is not going to go to her if she doesn't sign the prenup the way we write the prenup. Okay? Tom, are you with us? So is not willing to sign the prenup. So what happens? He says, guess what? Then I'm not giving the wealth. He's like, but Dad, but I love her, but she loves. No, it's okay. She doesn't have to sign it. But our wealth also cannot be given to you. So it sounds like, all right, cool. So he goes and does what? Makes the girl sign the prenup. And she signs it willingly. And they get married. He's happy. He loves his daughter-in-laws and father-in-laws. But guess what? Compatibility Does this person work together with the way you are? In America, they do this thing called sleepovers, okay? And I'm not a fan of sleepovers. Now, let's just say a kid wants to sleep over at our house, okay? With me on the floor, with 3 security guards, nothing upstairs in the room, nothing by themselves, nothing door closed, nothing. It's not compatible with my values and principles. It's not. What if they say, but we do it all the time? I don't care what you do. I don't do it. So if somebody's like, well, what's wrong with this? This is their values and principles. It is not compatible with the values and principles of America. It's just not. Should you just sit there and compromise your values and principles? Really? Should that be a non-negotiable? I don't know. I don't think it needs to be. I don't think you need to negotiate your non-negotiable. I don't think you just sit there and you're like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Let them do it. It's okay. Come on down. No. Come downstairs. No one's upstairs in the room with the doors closed. You're 12 years old. No one needs to be upstairs with the doors closed. Get downstairs. Why? Because it's not compatible with my values and principles. America has a certain set of rules, guidelines, things that we follow. Then you want to let somebody else just come in and say, no, this is how we do it. No, this is how we do it. And by the way, just so you know, not only are we here in your home, in your country, but we also didn't come here in your home, in your country, to what? To not only be compatible, but we also didn't come here to coexist. And what Americans say? It's okay.
Come on in, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, you're an Islamophobic. It doesn't bother me when you say that. It doesn't matter. Vinny's starting to get death threats right now on his
starting. It's been going on for
messages. And so you get these messages, and what do you hear about? What do you think this is a normal way of going? And by the way, keep this in mind. All this conversation there, Australia, you got now happening. UK has been happening for many, many years. You're seeing stories in Europe. You have a Rob. I don't know if you heard what this previous leader from UAE. Do you have that one, Rob? Who is saying we told you from Europe to be careful 7 years ago that this was given. This is not a new one that was given. Your UAE foreign minister issued a warning to the West. Do you have that one, Rob?
No, I'll find it.
It's in one of the ones in the message that I have in our notes section.
Clips talking about
everybody has
We've
seen
this before we put this on the podcast.
But this is a warning, West. This is a warning, Rob. I just texted it to you. This is a warning right there. Okay, right there. See how long it is. If it's the shorter one,
45 seconds.
Perfect. That's the one. Watch this. This is, and by the way, he specifically decides to say it in English, so he's not. You don't have to translate and not even trust the translation by 2%. He says it to you in English. This is UAE's foreign minister. Go ahead, Rob.
And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
He's giving you the warning.
That's like a lifeguard going, guys.
There's sharks in the ocean.
So, Tom,
and you go like this. You don't know shit.
What do you think should be the solution here, Tom?
Well, I have an idea about the solution. And just backing up to everything and just summarizing what I've heard is what people have been thinking. They use diversity. If you're against diversity, then you're a racist and you're bad. And they open the borders with the empathy tool. Their objective was to win elections and bring people in. The consequences, they lose the country. For all those years, they maintained control. Democrats maintained control over ethnic minorities as voting blocks here because they gave them something. And so that's the way the Democrats are thinking. They're thinking, oh, we'll just give them this, we'll give them that, and you'll give them the freedom to do this, and conservatives will scream bloody murder, but so what? We got our voting block. But now they're going to lose the country. At some point in time, Elon Musk is right. the empathy, the suicidal empathy, we have to recognize what it is. That, in business, Vinny, if I had a contract with you and all of a sudden there's a problem we have and we review the contract, we find out that something wasn't written in there that, anticipated this problem. You know what we do? We do an addendum because it's called a loophole. Well, one of us is using a loophole and we need to tighten this up. You want to stay business with me? Yes, I want to stay in business with you. So we have to close this loophole. Let's close the loophole, make an addendum because no one saw COVID coming and it's affected us. Pat, there's a loophole in the Constitution, and there's a loophole with suicidal empathy, and some leader in the United States has to stand up and say that we are now going to put a filter at the border. We've seen enough. I mean, look at all the people that want socialism in the United States, but don't want to go look at what you can see happened in Europe. They don't want to go back and look at that. You can see the case study. Look how Greece was among the first. And it's been 15 years or more since they had the austerity riots. You know what that was, Vinny? That was people being told, hey, we told you could have retirement. We told you could have this. We told you could have that. Yeah, we're broke and we're not going to give you that. Right. And everybody protested. The people that were 55 protested because they were told they had to work 5 years more. Young people in their mid-20s protested because if their grandparents and their aunts and uncles work 5 years more, they can't get government jobs. So everybody was upset. They burned cars and big riots. We don't see those case studies. Pat, the case studies are there. There's a loophole in the Constitution. There's a loophole with suicidal empathy. And some leader needs to say, we are now putting a filter on this, and it stops now. It's not going to be easy. People are going to say, you're pulling freedoms. You're not in favor of what's going on here. The other side of the Constitution. No, we have found the loophole. We have to close it.
Well, this is a generational curse within Islam. What do I mean? These weren't just some random people shooting. This was a father and son. Hey, son, what do you want to do today? Should we go, shoot some hoops? Or should we throw the ball around? Should we play some soccer? No, let's go murder people together. Could you imagine what that even means? You know what this reminds me of? There was a Nova Festival reenactment here all over Miami, and they reenacted what happened on October 7th. One of the most glaring, shocking, disgusting things I've ever seen in my life is one of the Hamas murderers, terrorists, called his father and Abba in Arabic, I got 10 of them. I killed 10 Jews. Oh, Allah Akbar. The father is so excited to hear that his son killed 10 people. This is not just your normal political ideology. This is a sickness within Islam. No other group would you call your father and be like, you're so proud of me. So proud of you, son. They're going to the beach together, not to suntan, not to surf, to go murder people. This is what's going on here. It's a generational curse. And the biggest issue is with these progressive leaders in the West, they have these big hearts and these very small brains, and they just can't connect the dots. How many times do we need to see this absurdity before you say, you know what, guys, maybe we should open our eyes and not be retarded anymore? No, let them all in.
No. And I really hope, because the writing is on the wall and you're starting to see it creep in here in the United States. I mean, thank God for the First Amendment, backed up by the Second Amendment, because these people can't even talk crap about the terrorists because they will show up to your house and put your ass in jail. Okay, and there needs to be some, by the way, and I have to keep reiterating.
About all the social media laws in the UK.
Oh yeah, Tom.
Yep.
This is a Christian nation. Full stop. Our founding fathers, this is under nation, under God. We are a Christian nation. If you want to do Islam and all your stuff, go stay there. Stay there where everybody is doing it, okay? And Pat, you have people like Ilhan Omar and everything. The moment this happened, and look at it, she's Muslim. It's second, she's like, the guns. It's the guns. Take away the guns. That's what they do. Because this is the plan. It's migrate, multiply, and then dominate. Everybody's like, no, everything's peaceful. Everything's love. The moment they are going to be the majority, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I'm sorry, I will be damned if it's going to happen here. And to the point, Pat, to make it stop happening, me and Adam talked about this a while ago, and it was we had a debate here. The consequences for these people, because guess what they're doing? That father and son are doing that. Guess where they think they are right now?
Heaven.
Guess what? They think they're with 72 virgins, getting laid, sorry for my language, murdering 10-year-olds. You're getting laid. That's in your religion. Period. End of story. That's in your religion. They think they're getting laid with virgins right now. So there needs to be consequences, Pat. And I'm sorry. Something has to happen. And what do we talk about? If you're going to do jihad like that, just know this. We're coming after your kids. We're coming after your mother and your father. Something has to happen drastically because nothing else is happening, Pat.
When you said we're coming after your kids, your mother, your father, you're talking about them getting arrested.
Something has to happen because, Pat, these people love their families. Yeah. Everybody. I don't care if you're jihad, Islam, you love your kids. Your mother and father, I think, have to be held accountable, like the people that get murdered. Where was it, Pat? The mother and father got arrested because the kid shot and killed somebody. Something has to happen.
I know that was the Michigan case.
Yeah, I know you want to move on, but this whole globalized the intifada, what does that even mean? We've heard so many times.
Mamdani loves that.
We've heard so many times, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, cruel. Most people don't even know what river, what sea. Globalize the intifada basically just means go kill Jews wherever they are. I'm so sick of the narrative of I don't hate Jews, I'm just anti-Israel. Oh, really? What did Sydney, Australia have to do with Israel? Oh, no, I'm just doing this for Gaza. Really? What did Sydney, Australia have anything to do? I'm just not a fan of the IDF. So you're murdering people in Sydney? There's a failure to connect the dots here. So at some point you have to realize maybe they just hate and want to kill Jews. But they won't stop there, guys. Because if I'm in a Muslim country, you know who the most people scared should be? Christians. Because they've already got rid of all the Jews. Christians are being murdered in Muslim countries. But in the West, with these big hearts and these small brains, I'd be very fearful if you're a Jew these days.
Well, the big heart, small brain is called a useful idiot, and they die last. But they die too because to the radical extreme Muslims, we are all infidels, and they kill the ones that are the most passionate first, which is the Jews and the Christians, and they work down the line. And all of the complicit liberals don't know that they're last on the list, but they're on it.
Oh, they're on it, all right.
Yeah, by the way,
they're voting for this.
Yeah, and FYI, again, to me, it's very simple. Like if I do business with somebody, and we say, hey, I want all our employees. Let's say we're 50-50 business partners. I say I want all the employees to work from the office. You say no, I want everybody to work from home. I say I want the finances to be managed by somebody that we hire who is a non-interested party on my end or your end to be the finance guy. He says, no, I want it to be my wife. I say I want our office to be located in XYZ place where it's safe. He says, no, I want it to be at such a... You go through a list of things, and then guess what you realize?
Hey, we're
You're
not supposed to be business
compatible,
partners.
and you can't coexist. Guess what do? I had a guy that I was going to do business partner with. I love this guy. He was at my wedding. If we were on trips, you wanted to find me, find him, you'll find me. If you wanted to find him, find me, you'll find him. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how we were together. Guess what happened? One night in Atlanta, we're speaking till 4 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what he says? At one of the conversations, he says to me, well, damn, sell me the dream at least of what's going to happen if we build a company together. I said, sell you the dream? We have to work 80 to 100 hours every week to build this company. And he was like, I don't know if I want to work that hard. And he was making 3 times more money than I was making at the time. I'm like, guess what? You know what that was? That night. It's like, compatibility. No, we can't coexist. Because then eventually I'm going to resent you for not willing to work. And I don't want to be in a situation like this. You stay in your country. I'm going to stay in my own country, and let's see what we can do. We can't stop forcing people to coexist when they simply cannot. By the way, just so you guys know, I just got word right now, PBD Podcast on X is number 6 trending on X worldwide. The hashtag is on. And by the way, this is at a time with a lot of stuff going on, and PBD Podcast is trending. So we're looking through it. For some of you guys that haven't tweeted yet, keep doing it. We're looking for you. And the best ones, Humberto, Rob, pick some people. I'd like to send some people some cash for being with us on our 700th episode that happens to be today. Thanks to the entire team in the back that you guys do your work, all the people over the years that have done what they've done, and all the listeners, those of you guys that have been with us from day one till today, I appreciate you guys. And obviously this wouldn't happen without our leadership team, Tom, Adam, Vinny, Tom, Rob, and everybody else in the back. And again, people in the past that have worked, and the leadership team on the other side. that helps us hire people that they do. Having said that, let's continue. Second story I want to get into is what happened with Brown shooting, okay? Brown shooting. So, Tom, I'm going to come to you first because, and the reason why I'm coming to you first, because a question I asked you off camera, I don't want to ask you right now because I don't want to bring attention to it, but this is something that you're interested in because we know millions of people get up and they're like, I want to send my kids to college. And the last thing you want to do is you're raising a good kid, all the things are doing the right way, and then we see a picture of an innocent 19-year-old girl who was the leader of, I think, this Republican team party that they had at Brown University, and she will not be going home to be with her family because somebody decided to shoot up this place. Look at her. Beautiful Brown student, go a little bit from Mountain Brook, mourned as bright light after tragic campus shooting. Tom, what facts, what stories do we so far have of what happened with this event?
So I'll start with the facts, and then I'll get to my very, very personal thoughts on it. Well, first of all, they don't have a suspect. Yesterday, the news was blaring that, we have a person of interest. He's 23 miles away from campus. He drove here from somewhere else. We believe he's a military veteran. They get to him. Apparently, they question him. They look at things, not him, not on security cameras, vehicle not in the area, whatever. And so they release him. So around midnight, we find that the authorities there, campus police, Providence police, detectives, whatever in the area, nobody has anyone in custody. So as of right now, there's no one in custody at the time we came on the air today. And they've got descriptions of him, things like this. The other is the police collected what's called the brass, which is the discharged shell casings. And there were more than 40 rounds fired. And there's tragically 2 people were killed, but 40 rounds could have been so many more deaths. It's horrible that it is. Now, students are saying that the main doors, that when they say hall, they're not talking hallway. A hall is a building full of classrooms on a college campus. So this particular hall, factually, apparently the main doors were open and you could get into the lobby area, and I guess there's restrooms, seating areas, and then the hallways is where the classrooms are, and apparently they did have badge readers on certain classrooms so you can get in. But apparently, hardening the target and access control, that there was something was lacking there on Brown. When I visited university where my daughter goes, there are, that's in the downtown of a U.S. city, there are badge readers on most buildings. So like a homeless or a vagrant or somebody can't be walking in. So I don't know how hard the target was at Brown, but students said you could walk right in the front doors of the hall, although there was access control at some of the classrooms. So that's what we see there. Was the target hard enough? And for me, if you're sending your kids to school, the first member, president of your son or daughter's protection club is your son or daughter. Knowing where you are at all times, knowing where escape routes are, knowing where safe rooms are, knowing where the on campuses, many of them use a police signaling system. It's a post. You hit the button. I think they have this down at Miami College, right in the middle of Miami, downtown, where you go to these posts, you hit the button, lights go on, and it's a bright blue light, and it signals people, help is on the way. But there's also on patrol. You have to work with your kids to know where they're going to be and know where they're going to go, because they have to be aware, because I am not convinced that the schools are hard enough targets.
Well, Tom, let me just say this.
That's my feeling.
I want you to watch this here. So here's the president, Rob, if I'm not mistaken, asked, what do you know about what happened? Look at her answer, Rob. Basic questions that they're asking. President, this is asking the president 6 hours after the shooting, what do you know what was going on in the classroom? What class was it? Listen to her answer. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm catching up right now.
President, with all due respect, 6 hours after this shooting, and you said you don't know what was going on in that classroom? How does that happen? Were they taking an exam? Were they meeting for a club?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
6 hours later, you're
What's
the
the first question you asked?
What were they doing in there?
What is the first question? Because actually, there's a shooting. Tom, I'm the president. You're the president. I come to you. Tom, you won't believe what just happened. You say what? What? There was a shooting in one of the classrooms. Go.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you my questions. Are we locked down? Is local law enforcement here with our security?
Not yet. They're on their way.
Are we locked down? Okay. says, have we sent out the campus sirens or the campus alarms telling it's a lockdown? Good. Okay, how many are in that class? Do we have the information for the authorities when SWAT arrives? Is SWAT on scene? Do we have somebody?
They're on their way.
They're on their way. Who is talking to SWAT right now about who's in that classroom, how many students are supposed to be in that classroom, and the rest of the building? Who is there that we can give all this information to SWAT? Are campus police ready?
What have we found on the camera? What have we seen on the camera?
Yeah, what do we have?
Which teacher is it? What professor?
That's exactly right. What class was this? Religious studies. Oh, God.
6 hours later?
6 hours. I am going to know all that, and I'm going to go to the
disturbing.
microphone, and I'm going to praise my campus if it's for readiness. I'm going to thank the law enforcement, and I'm going to tell the news media, for the news media, the class was this. There was normally approximately 20 in class. You know, in college, students can be in class or not. There's usually approximately 20, a professor and an assistant professor. We're trying to confirm the names of the people that were present to make there, but we are on campus lockdown at 6 minutes after the first shot. Sirens were off. We were on campus lockdown. What other questions do you have? That's how I'm the president briefing the media after to show that all of our systems, it's not put on a show, Pat. It's to show that the systems and the training for such an incident are ready and work.
If your kid is in Brown University, get them out immediately. 816 cameras, $71,000 average tuition a year. And that's the answer that you get from the person that's the president. 6 hours? Do you understand how far? Pat, that's driving to Orlando and half the way back. Okay, and this is another problem that I have with these morons. Okay, Ben, I think it was, what was his name? Ben Erickson. Okay, you detain the wrong guy, you leak his name to the entire world. All right, you smear his service because he's in the army, and then you go like this. Oh, my bad, not him. That guy's life is ruined, by the way, because the idiots out there are still gonna think it's him. Because a lot of people don't follow the news like how we follow it.
23 miles south of the college.
Yeah, he drove. Yeah, apparently he drove from Wisconsin to go do the shooting here. And what's something that's weird, and listen, every single time they don't show us who it is or they have nothing, it's because they don't want us to know who it is. Allegedly, he screamed something before he did the shooting. What do you guys think he screamed?
What do you think he screamed, Vinny?
Jesus loves us? Let's take if anybody wants to do a side bet, what do you think this guy screamed before he did the shooting and then left? And then the FBI shows this and go, hey guys, we need, anybody have information about this? Oh, you mean a blurry guy in a hoodie walking away from the camera? Yeah, I've seen a million of those in cold-ass Brown University. Okay, it's unbelievable that they would just jump the gun on something like this. It's one of the biggest fumbles. And now this guy has had an entire day to get away, get his cover, take his own life, whatever the hell it is. And this is, Rob, what are you about to show?
Oh, but this is a teacher assistant that was inside one of the classrooms when the shooting broke out. If you guys wanted to hear firsthand account,
yeah, why not?
Like inside.
Yeah. Joseph Adura was leading an economic studies session with around 60 other students when he says a masked man entered the lecture hall armed with a large gun.
He entered the room, and you could just see the panic in all the students' eyes. I was standing in the front, so as soon as he walked in, he immediately saw me and I immediately saw him. And then I look to my right and I see a bunch of students running down the stairs, running out the door, jumping on the ground, just whatever it takes to stay alive.
When you made eye contact with him, what did your mind tell you in terms of what was happening in that moment?
When I saw him, I saw a gun. The gun was so big and long that I genuinely thought, like, okay, this is the end of the road for me.
How soon did he start shooting after he entered the room?
He just started shooting right away. There was no hesitation.
Did you see the video of the cops coming in? Did you see the video of SWAT coming in?
No, I haven't.
Get down, hands up, get down. Have you seen that clip?
No, in the classroom?
In the classroom.
Kids are in the classroom?
Yeah.
I think I saw a little.
Yeah, there's a video of them coming in, and you see they themselves. That's the one, Rob. That's the one. You want to play that? Watch this. Can you imagine?
Oh my God! Your kids are there. And see, who is it? Who's coming in? Police! Thank God.
Promise police! Hands! Promise police! Everybody's hands! Hands! Everybody get your hands! Just keep your hands up for us. Obviously there's something going on. We're here to help you. Just listen to what we have to say, okay? All right, breathe. Anybody hurt? No? All right, just listen to our commands. We will get you out of here safely. Is this it? Is this the group?
How much longer after the incident did they arrive, Rob? How much longer after the incident did they arrive?
I'll take a look right now.
And those Pat, those kids, you're not only they're traumatized forever. Okay, watching everybody get shot and killed. Could you imagine, Tom? You have a daughter in college. Can you imagine that? Like that's their school. And I'm sick and tired of people, again, over the guns and why? What do we do? How about some legitimate security at the colleges, at the high schools? And if one more person says, who's going to pay for it? We just gave another $600 million that nobody wants to talk about to Ukraine. Give me a effing break. Enough already. And stop with the guns. People are going to find other ways. We need security in the freaking schools. Okay? Everybody just wants to talk about the aftermath, but nobody wants to stop it from happening. Guys, this is America. We have guns. 35% of us have guns. In Australia, 3%. You have to fight fire with fire. Gun-free zones are where people go and shoot. You know why? Nobody has a gun. You might as well say, come and shoot everybody here, guys, because we don't like guns here. And this is Brown University, bro. Enough already.
I'm with you. Go ahead,
Pat, to your question, 4:05 p.m. the shooting started. The first campus alert was sent 17 minutes after the shooting began.
That's what I'm looking at.
That's not even
here.
the police
17
responding.
minutes.
That's them letting everybody on campus know.
Kidding?
17 minutes?
Yeah.
How is that possible, though? How is it possible to move so slowly? And by the way, you said 20 minutes was Australia.
Yes.
And this is 17 minutes here?
Yep.
Okay, Rob, emergency service, Australia, about 10 minutes after the call. Video analysis gave police officers appear on the scene roughly within the first several minutes of the shooting and began engaging the attackers about 3 to 4 minutes into the gunfire. Shooting begins in emergency 647 and a Brown University. Yeah, wow.
You're paying $71,000 for your kid to go to college for 1 year.
Can you pull up the president? Can we look at the profile, the resume of the president of Brown University? I want to know what her background is. How the hell do you lack that kind of urgency? Zoom in a little bit. What is her background?
$3 million a year, by the way.
Did you say she makes $3 million a year?
The report that I read said the Brown University president makes $3 million a year.
She spent her childhood in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Pakistan Bachelor of Arts from college, where she majored in economics. She was a member of the pursuing graduate studies at Columbia University. Pakistan transferred from there to got it. 1985, Masters of Arts and a doctor in philosophy and economics in 1985 with a focus on labor. She advised Joseph Altonji on her dissertation on credit. Kay Paxson, go a little bit lower up, Woodrow Wilson School, Pennsylvania. Is her salary really $3 million a year? Go a little bit lower.
Let's go find that. And she was president in July of 2012, which means that she's been president for 13 years, covering BLM riots and everything else. So you would think that she's been through some situations where we realize that we have to harden the targets. 17 minutes, folks.
Can you see 17 minutes? That's urgency. 6 hours later, she didn't even know what class it was.
Oh, my. Oh, who was
it? So
it?
obviously, urgency is not the top of priority when hiring.
Oh, man.
Their endowment, you know how much money they're sitting on their endowment? $8 billion is the endowment. That's how much cash the school is sitting on.
$8 billion?
Cash. That's how much you're sitting on. Yes,
no
she got paid over $3.1 million in 2023.
Weird.
I don't know if it's strictly from the school or not. So, Adam, where are you at with this?
So they're paying $70,000 a year to go to school here, but many students will end up paying with their life. So how many times does this need to happen until we say, there might be a bigger problem here? I used to be, sort of anti-gun. No way, there's just the guns. We got to take away the shit. No. Because if we learned anything in Australia, if we learned anything what's going on in Iran, what's going on in China, if you don't have guns, you don't get to say shit. So the guns protect you from the bad guys. And by the way, even if you take away all the guns, have we not learned that the bad guys are going to get their hands on the guns? Did we not just learn that in Sydney? Have we not learned this so many times, countless times? The bad guys will get the guns. So, you talk about the book, The Anxious Generation, right? When you talk about social media and comparison and everything like that. Anxious generation, I can't even imagine going to school. Okay, guys, get ready for finals. Here we go. And a terrorist, who knows who it was, just comes in and starts shooting up a school. This is so common for schools these days. This is not stuff we had to deal with when we were growing up. You talk about anxious generation. When we were in the 90s, everyone was worried about AIDS. They completely blew AIDS out of proportion. Oh my God, you have AIDS. Oh my God. This is not blown out of proportion. This is a epidemic to the largest magnitude where you have kids going to school to learn, to be educated, to be safe, to be secure, and they end up paying with their life. This is the new reality in America today. So anxious generation, this is par for the course, unfortunately, in America. And it's so predictable. When has this happened before? Every other week, if not longer? So schools and universities really need to do better.
What was a story that took 4 years for us to find out who was behind it? We talked about it 2 weeks ago. And for 4 years, everybody thought...
Pipe bomb?
The pipe bomb.
Yeah. Which, by the way, there's people still trying to say, because this person sat down on a bench, Pat, and they did what a woman would do, I'm just saying, that has a bra on. So this person that they're saying, it's still like up in the air. We don't even know who this freaking guy was. But yeah, what do you mean? 4 years? Yeah, almost 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
To find out. So
but circumstantially, it points to the woman that worked for the intelligence agency.
Yeah. See, look, Pat, look at this. What are you fixing under there? That's your bra? Oh, okay. Yeah,
regarding the Brown University, what do we know for sure?
We don't know, Adam. They don't know. Think about it. They put all their attention on the white boy from Wisconsin,
but they
nothing.
have the guy that did the interview, the black guy, saying, "I saw him. I saw his face." Yeah. Did they ask him what he looked like? What he said? Did he say?
You would hope so. Exactly. That would have been the first question. Is hey, is this the guy? Is this the white boy? Yeah. No. Next.
I think we know how the media plays the game. George Zimmerman was a white Hispanic. And if there's no race mentioned, then you know the race.
How many Jewish students are at Brown? Can we just take a while? I don't know. Is it a predominantly Jewish school, Robbie?
No.
Do we know?
No, there's no predominantly Jewish school unless it's yeshiva.
No, but what I'm saying is...
Brown is known as the single most liberal of the Ivy League 8. And
hands down.
Brown.
Yeah. Oh, hands down.
Oh, really?
Brown is the most liberal?
Most liberal.
The most.
More than anyone.
Harvard?
Oh, and it's not even close.
Wow.
Brown is
because
like a
Harvard
level
will
of
get
its own.
conservatives. Brown is like, you go to Brown to say,
I went to Brown.
Fight the power.
Oh, really?
Brown is like the place to go.
Interesting.
Yeah, but Brown...
so it's white 32 to 36.
Yeah, we might get sued by a shipping company, but the marketing is, how can Brown indoctrinate you?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys as parents, right? Tom, you have one in college, one in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You have 4 kids, all under 13.
Well, my youngest daughter and his oldest son are in the
How
contemplation window
are you
right now.
sending your kids to school?
Did you hear what he just said? Go ahead, Tom.
I said his oldest son and my youngest daughter are like 10 months apart, and they're both right now in what's called, the review and contemplation window. This is a question as families we're asking ourselves right now.
Yeah,
regardless of the fact that my oldest is in college, every candidate university that's on our list, look what's on our minds.
Yeah, but it's not even just universities. It's happening in elementary schools. It's happening in high schools. I mean, how do you look your kid in the school and say, have a good day at school, son. Have a good day at school, daughter. And they might not make it home.
And when I was in LA,
how do you deal with that?
Every Jewish school that I saw, dude, there was a security guard and a cop outside. Everywhere.
Oh.
No, this is at Los Angeles. Everywhere, bro. But all the other schools, public, Catholic, public, nope. Not even a guard, bro. Put a guard out there.
They've learned their lesson.
Yeah, well, let's go to the next story. Next story I want to get to is Candace Owens and Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk tweets out yesterday that, Rob, if you want to pull that up, she tweets yesterday that the two are having a meeting together, I believe. Rob, you said, is today the 15th?
Yep.
Okay, so Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private in-person discussion on Monday, December 15th. Candace and I have agreed that public discussions, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. I look forward to a productive conversation. So can you pull this tweet up? I want to know what the comment section says, because I retweeted it and I said the following. I said, if you just go to my account, and then we'll read the tweet that hers. I said, this is the right move, but long overdue. Respect to both women for agreeing to meet, hoping this visit leads to a real solution that protects Charlie's decade plus of hard work influencing and shaping America's youth. Can we see how the market is reacting to that comment? Can you click on it? Go a little bit lower. Okay, what does Candace deserve any respect? Who is that?
Dave Rubin.
Who is Dave Rubin? I'm giving him a hard time. Of course, we know who Dave Rubin is. All right, next, Aaron Wexler. Respect to both women, who is a horrible take. You and I both spoke for 20 minutes at Charlie's Turning Point. Adam, is that your friend, Aaron Wexler? You are smart and opinionated man. Not kind of like Candace for torturing Erika's and spreading. Okay, so got it. So that's where she's at with it. Bad take. Never wrestle with pigs. You both get dirty, and the pig likes it. George Bernard Shaw was a massive socialist, but go a little bit lower. When you realize the media tour didn't go as planned and you set up to sit down, okay, so the position there is on the other side. Erika currently represents what people want Charlie to be, which led to his death. Candace represents who Charlie was when he was alive. There is room for both, but I get the sense that would have Erika continue to look more inauthentic. Candace needs to protect Charlie's light. She's the only one keeping it alive. Okay, so we know that's good. So far it's fair. 50-50 comments on both sides. Classy move by Erika. That being said, I'll never watch Candace again. So disrespectful. I don't care what the world thinks about a grieving widow until you experience the loss of someone to you in a horrific manner such as this. You'll never understand. Agree and saying they hadn't already been communicating. Erika has clearly taken very bad advice. She is torching her organizational legacy. How about we stop pretending that they are searching for truth and what happened to Charlie is equal destroying his legacy, because it's not. Okay, so can you go to Erika's tweet by herself, not mine. Just go to hers by herself. Let's go a little bit lower. Can you go a little bit lower? Can't y'all just call each other? Why does it have to be such a big deal? Hopefully you serve her with papers during the meeting. If y'all are meeting in private, why did y'all make it public information? Keep going a little bit lower. Even Biden got involved. Now she's not busy and her husband is allowing her to do something that day. Interesting. Just be careful that you don't overshare. She will spin it against you later. I'm sorry, you have to deal with her and any of the awful rumors. Pieces the prize, Jack Posobiec. The meeting should be recorded. The way if Candace tries to mischaracterize anything, there's a record to prove. Okay, so question. One, what do you think are the chances that this is being recorded by both sides?
Very good question.
What do you think?
Very high.
Let's put it this way. When they come to the meeting, do you think it is agreed on who'll be in the room and that everybody is frisked and go into a room that they feel comfortable knowing nothing is being recorded?
You would hope so. If it's not, if it is getting recorded, that's one thing. If not, yes.
Okay.
I'd say everybody.
Who chose the room?
Erika.
If Erika chose the room, Candace can say the room is being recorded because somebody put something in there.
Yep.
Right? So let's just kind of put it on there. But Tom, if you're going into this, are you automatically assuming that the opposing side is recording the conversation?
100%. And then I'm going to take out a phone and I'll put it there and I'm saying, just to make sure that we keep each other, our memories, for the sake of both memories being good, I'm going to record as well. May I?
So would you say it publicly so it's a known thing, or would you record and not tell?
I would say it publicly. If you're going to have, let's just look at media. If you have a media interview, they're recording it nowadays. So I'll record it. And I would just say, would you mind if I recorded this so that we both of our memories can be, if we have any confusion, we can go back? And they'll probably say yes. And I hit record and I say, thank you for allowing me to record. We're sitting here on Wednesday the 15th at 9 o'clock. So I put the date right on it. That's very normal if you're having a media interview and you think maybe there could be an edge to it. So I'm about 100% that they would both be recording and made each other aware.
Okay, so now let's go through the next part. How do you think this meeting is going to go? Do you think the meeting is going to go and afterwards all the accusations from both sides are gone? Do you think it stops? Do you think it settles? Do you think it continues?
I'm very, very interested and curious. I think I'm interested to see, is Candace going to reveal stuff to Erika that she doesn't think that she knows yet? Like if Candace has some stuff that she hasn't revealed yet, and maybe she's like, hey, listen, just to let you know, this person that's in the organization, XYZ. All right? Because I think Erika's angle is going to be like, hey, listen, this is hurting. You're not helping. She's gonna extend the olive branch. But as we know, guys, Candace's show has to keep going. It has to continue. The drama can't stop. You know what I'm saying? If you go, here's my question. Do you think there's gonna be a clause where they can't speak about anything that happened in the meeting? Do you think Erika is gonna say, listen, Candace, we know you have your show. Vice versa. none of us can bring out XYZ. You can't bring up this, and this.
Where is the premise that commitment will be kept?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you don't think it's going to happen?
And not only do I not think that premise will be kept, I don't think Candace would agree to that standard.
I agree.
I think she's going to go to George. George's going to say, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
No way we would agree to that on what can be, because no. So to me, who is taking a bigger risk in a meeting, and who is being the leader and taking calling for the meeting?
Erica's taking a bigger risk.
Eric's taking a bigger risk and being the leader taking a meeting?
Erika
is.
Yeah, because I mean, what does Candace have to lose?
Okay.
Candace is gonna still talk about it on her show.
Okay. So can you go to the Barry Weiss, because you just had that clip up, Rob. Which one is this, Rob?
This is her during the town hall. Barry Weiss asked Erika Kirk about the conspiracy theories regarding Charlie Kirk's death, and she addresses it.
Go for it.
And yet there are a huge number of conspiracy theories, you might call them brain rot, that are spreading right now online about the actual story behind the reality. One, people say that Tyler Robinson was actually a MAGA Republican. Or two, some people say you were actually a Mossad agent sitting in front of me, and you were Charlie's handler, and Israel killed Charlie. Right. Other people say that a number of men in the crowd were wearing maroon T-shirts, and this signifies that his killing was an elite airborne operation, whatever that means. They say that the rings on your fingers, which are
my kids' initials, my wedding band, the Medal of Freedom, my engagement ring.
But apparently they symbolize some kind of secret plot. There's also a new theory that Egyptian aircraft have been tracking you.
Don't forget about the Egyptian planes.
What is going on? Why are there so many conspiracies spreading about what seems to be a pretty open and shut case?
This is the first time that we have seen evil on display where we have social media at our fingertips. Something so evil that happened, people are wanting answers immediately. They are wanting to figure out how to wrap their mind around this. Egyptian planes.
Egyptian
planes.
Do you believe that Tyler Robinson murdered your husband?
Yes, I do.
Why do you think it is so hard for so many people to believe that reality?
Because it's too simple. Again, everyone always has to think there's more to the story. Well, sometimes there's not. I've seen the autopsy report. I've seen our case pulled together.
Can I say one thing? And this is just,
what are your thoughts here?
Adam, and here's my thing. Of God, like I pray for her. We pray for their kids. No joke. I pray for them all the time. And there's one thing, because she's getting a lot of flack with, by the way, you're doing town halls on CBS, which, by the way, Rob, the guy that was asking Charlie the question before Charlie got shot, right when he got shot, that guy went up there, and what a crappy hit piece that he did.
I have
it. Did you see what this guy did?
No, what happened?
You know the guy that was asking Charlie the question about the shooting and the mass shooting and whatever?
Yeah.
Why would CBS, because by the way, I heard, allegedly, they all knew all the questions, they knew what they were going to ask. This guy is a complete liberal lefty. Look at what he goes up and asks a widow of the guy that you were asking a question when her husband was shot. Go ahead.
Hi there. Erika, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your calls for peace and unity, and I'm likewise horrified by the people in my so-called camp who were cheering about Charlie's murder. I believe that they stoke the flames of violence.
Ready?
But even worse is when powerful, influential people on either side of the aisle stoke the flames.
Shifting.
When they do it, the flames can become an inferno.
He's going to Trump.
And this leads me to Donald Trump, the most powerful and influential person on earth, who has more responsibility than anyone else to put the flames out.
I think Barry has
Just
to do
last
that.
month, President Trump called on 6 Democratic lawmakers to be tried for sedition, which he clarified was punishable by death. He then reposted a simple message: hang them.
I
think that you've been making strides to bring peace to our country, and that Turning Point has been asking Democrats
So you can stop it right, and then he goes on, Pat, to add, condemn. The conversation is about this, about, conspiracies and all that stuff. And you're going to bring the guy that was asking her husband a question to try to condemn Trump. They can't help themselves to make it about Trump. But the people that are like, leave Erika alone. And I just want to say something. When you're in front of a camera all the time, you have to know, if you don't want the heat, Stay out of the kitchen. This is 2025. People are going to judge. Look at us. I work for Mossad, Tom's whatever, Qatar. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. But at some point, it's like people are analyzing this, and it's the talking, the looking up to heaven. It's like, and by the way, if you're going to cry all the time, with all due respect, take your makeup off. Take your makeup off. And it's like, if you don't want it, stay away from the camera. Okay? And I get it. You went from the wife, now you're the CEO and the chair. Like, that's a huge jump. And I just have one question, Tom. Real talk, Pat. And you guys are bosses. You guys know what the hell. Can someone's wife just out of nowhere just become a CEO and know how to run a company of this magnitude? This is, by the way, this isn't a rinky-dink mom and pop shop. This is Turning Point.
They voted for her, buddy.
They voted for her.
Yeah.
What does she know about being a CEO of a company?
Well,
I'm just asking. Adam, I don't
wouldn't
know.
The board of directors be able to make that decision?
Adam, I have no idea. All I'm saying is the wife. That's like Michelle Obama. Like, everybody's like, Michelle's the best. She was the wife of the president. She didn't do anything. She didn't accomplish anything. He's the president. He was the president.
I think we're losing sight of this conversation. So Candace Owens is meeting with Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk is meeting with Candace. Why? Why are they meeting? What does Erika owe Candace? What does Candace owe Erika? That's the question I have. Mm-hmm. The reason they're meeting is because Erika wants to go confront Candace and be like, you're freaking lying about everything. And you've said publicly, Miss Owens, that if I wanted you to stop, you would stop. But you didn't stop. You kept going. You kept pushing. So she's being labeled as fake, as a paid actor. How many of you people out there have had your significant other murdered in front of you, in front of everybody, and you've had to deal with the public discourse and condemnation and judgment, and you had to show up on screen, look your best, act your best, defend your husband, defend your company, and you had to keep it together? What have you done with your life? So all the people that are condemning Erika Kirk, F you. At the very least, she is the wife of a murdered man. And now the fatherless wife of 2 kids. So I have a special rule when it comes to people who have been murdered or killed. Don't make an enemy of their wife or significant other. That's pretty basic. That's just sort of basic stuff. Don't start attacking the widow. In fact, and I very rarely quote the Torah, but my friend Rabbi Bunny sent me this. He said, you should know this. The Torah says this: you shall not afflict any widow or orphan child. If you afflict them in any way, and they cry to me, I will surely hear their cry, and my anger shall burn hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children orphans. Is Candace really helping Charlie's legacy? Is she really there to console and comfort and support Erika? Or is she burning this bitch down? Because that, to me, is what this is. I've said the whole thing all along. Candace Owens is a bad friend. She's a smart person. She's sharp. She's intuitive. She's the gaslighter in chief of the world right now. And apparently she's an incredible detective. But she's a bad friend. Because if Charlie was looking down, whose side do you think Charlie would be on? His wife? His children? His organization? His closest friends? Or to his friend, Candace Owens? To me, it's absolute BS what she's done, and she will pay the price at some point.
Tom.
I don't quite understand why they're getting together. I mean, that's just it's like, if both sides, if Erika and Turning Point want everything to calm down, don't you just kind of let it roll? I mean, how many critics have I sat in offices, Pat, that criticize you for various things? Like anybody trying to build a company, you weren't special in that moment. Every business leader's got their enemies from competitors, enemies from people that come work for you and it doesn't work out. They're all there. And you either give them, you know what you do? You can make a crisis bigger by treating it like a crisis, Vinny. Yep. You can make something too big by treating it too big. And Pat used to say, listen, I've got no quarrel with them. I got a business to run. I got things to do. Let's move on and let it go. Now, if they stole from us, there are there are procedures and stuff that we can go take care of it. But if it's just going around and round, you can make the merry-go-round stop by not spinning it. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know what Turning Point's, motivation is here to, say, attention, please, attention, please. It's like bringing more attention to it. We will not be tweeting for 2 days. We will be meeting together at an undisclosed location. Now that Cheney's gone, we can use it, or something. I'm being a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't understand.
But Tommy, this stops Rob, wasn't today supposed to be the live stream of Turning Point USA? So Pat, maybe they were like, somebody needs to talk to her because she was going to reveal something. I mean,
Vinny,
how do we know?
Anytime, any place, anywhere, except not anytime, any place, anywhere.
What that is, today was the anytime, any place, anywhere.
Of course.
This is what Turning Point USA offered, was December 15th,
Yes.
a live stream
So
in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So what's changed on Candace's end between then and today?
Yeah.
Where she wasn't available, it conflicted with her schedule, and now she is
Dude,
available.
she's a YouTuber. She's a podcaster. This is her job. She has nothing else going on. She's very good at it. This is her job. Hey, I'm able to make it. Why? Because I have to do my show? I mean, the show that you talk about this nonstop? None of this makes sense. And Candace is just sitting there being like, all eyes on me. She's like Tupac out here.
What do you think, Pat?
With what?
The meeting, what's going to come out of this?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of people that are saying, why are they meeting? This is a waste of time. Erika doesn't need to sit down with her, all this stuff. Diplomacy is nasty sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to sit down with somebody that, they hate you or they're making life a living hell, and you have to find a way to talk to one another. Lincoln used to say, I beat an enemy by turning them into a friend. Now, here's the problem. Is that possible with Candace? I don't know. Is that going to work with Candace? Is Candace going to be able to get the next story to go on for 3 months that she can really drive attention to? She'll find something to go after. Would she be willing to do that? I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm glad they're having a meeting, and let's see where it goes. Because quite frankly, what matters to me is the following, okay? Let me kind of go through priorities and what should be the priority of everybody watching this. What matters the most to you? To me, God is who I fear the most. Family, my job, God chose me as their father, and God chose me as their husband to lead. Number 3, country, where I choose to raise my family in. America is the greatest country in the world. I'm here because the values and principles this country was founded on, and I like to keep it that way. And then the state you choose to live in, which we chose to live in Florida, we like the values of this state, and we're going to fight to make sure it stays this way. And then the industry you're going through. And to me, in that order, if you go through family, kids, values, principles, there was a man named Charlie Kirk who was the example for young men. Tell me anybody outside of Charlie the last 10 years that if you have a 12-year-old son, you would say, listen to that guy outside of God, outside of Bible, outside of Jesus, outside of yourself as a father setting the example. Tell me who else you could say, if my son followed that guy, I'm okay with. Give me somebody above Charlie.
I can't.
Last 10 years. Go ahead.
I literally can't.
Rob, give me somebody above Charlie last 10 years. Actually think about some good names. There are names out there. Who do you say above Charlie?
He was the guy.
By the way.
He was the guy.
And by the way, when I say the guy, family, faith. Country.
Oh, man.
Give me a name above him.
You can't.
You can't. So now he's no longer here. Do you realize how important that is to me with a guy that's got 2 sons? Well, we would go to Charlie because, we're supposed to be in Amphis this week. Not this week, whatever this is coming up, right? And we'd go because Charlie would text, hey, Pat, boom, boom, boom.
He'd have us backstage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd have us backstage, and we do the podcast. We would go and we would do the podcast. You guys had a podcast
studio.
with them.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys do Unusual with them, Rob, if I'm not mistaken? And the year before, we did PBD podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we'd go there. And you know how many times? Do you know how many times we brought Charlie to speak at our events? Do you know how many times? Every one of I think we brought probably 5 times. I think George's brought him, Gaitan's brought him, we brought him. I don't know how many times we brought Charlie. Charlie would text me, hey, I'm in Florida. Can we do a podcast? Of course.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, while you're at Amphis, can you do a podcast with me? Of course. What was the schedule with me being on Charlie's show? Was it every 3 to 6 months, Rob, we'd be on the show?
Yeah, pretty regularly.
I don't know what it was. But to me, Charlie gave me comfort. You know why he gave me comfort? because he was going to be around for 60 more years.
Yeah.
A strong, thought-out thinker that's reasonable, that can reason. So to me, I don't have a relationship with Erika. I don't know Erika. But if somebody is your wife, I protect because it's your wife. Does that make sense to me? That's my way of doing things. That's his wife. That's his wife. Candace, some of the things that she's done the last 3 months, it is what it is. I've expressed my opinion on what direction she's going, and we've had conversations together, and, that's between her and I. We had a 30-minute conversation together. Wasn't a, friendliest conversation, but we did have the conversation with her. But priority of this thing getting done is to make sure the attention goes to Charlie. The attention goes to Charlie and what he did to the youth, because America was lacking. What he did to last year's election. Because, by the way, last year's election without Charlie, Kamala's your president.
That's correct.
FYI, take TPUSA and Charlie Kirk out. Kamala's your president today. Let me say this one more time. By the way, take Charlie out of 2016. Hillary's your president. Take Charlie out of 2024. Kamala or Biden is your president. What does America look like? What does America look like? Top three of the people that helped the election turn, in my opinion, are Elon Musk, Bobby Kennedy, and Charlie Kirk. In whatever order you want to put them in. In whatever order. Of course, number one above it all is Trump, and it's not even close because he was the one that's willing to take the shots, literal shots fired at him, and the character assassination that took place. Every form of assassination they tried on the president. He's still here. And so to me, priority is very simple. I am not involved in this drama. I don't want to be involved in this drama. This is not my business. This is between the two of them. But when it's so constantly ongoing and it's diminishing the work, because watch what the attention's been about. Has the attention been on what Charlie did to help the youth?
No.
Or has the attention been on the who's that helping out? No. So that's where I'm at with this, and that's where my opinion lies with this.
The challenge I have, multifaceted with Candace right now, is that she's not only is she a bad friend, she's also selfish. What she said about Tim Pool, let's not misconstrue what she said. She said, "I don't care about your midterms." Excuse me? What do you mean your midterms? We're in America. I thought you were a conservative. I thought you're Charlie's friend. I thought that you are an advocate of Trump. You want Kamala to win? Yeah. You want the Dems to win? You want the leftist progressives, LGBTQIA to win?
Gavin.
What do you mean your midterms? So to me, this is just sort of another example of selfish, bad friend Candace.
Let's move on. Your point's been made. Let's move on. I've made my point. We can move on to what we have going on here. Okay. Next story I want to get into is California. Okay. And this is Newsom and Nicki Minaj. Two things. Newsom's California exposed #1 hub for illegal CDL licensing. Okay. Safety crisis ignites federal fury. This is in the state of California. So let me read this to you. California has been caught red-handed, leading the nation in unlawfully issuing commercial driver licenses to foreign nationals, with federal regulators blasting Governor Newsom's administration for putting politics above public safety and fueling deadly crashes on America's highways. California has become ground zero in America's trucking scandal, with Governor Newsom's administration accused of rubber stamping thousands of illegal commercial transportation. Audit revealed that 1 in 4 of states' non-domiciled CDLs were issued improperly. 1 in 4, that's 25%, with some valid until 2030, despite immigration documents expiring years earlier. Tom, I'll come to you with this. Why is this so important? Why should American people care about this story?
Because it doesn't just, because this is a health and safety issue. Those gentlemen that, there were 2 of them, one was driving and one was his, I guess, business partner. And they made that U-turn on a Florida highway. Mm-hmm. And a U-turn of an 18-wheeler on a Florida highway. And the minivan ran right under it, and that family was killed. I believe there were 4 of them in the minivan. You can get me on the facts, but I'm speaking about that incident. Those were poorly trained people with a commercial driver's license. Why is this so big? Because you can let someone come into the country and you can say, here, go to school. You can say, here's a free cell phone. You can say, here's an EBT card. Here's SNAP benefits. But when you start extending it to completely unqualified people that are getting commercial driver's license, you are now elevating the health and safety issue. I already believe that immigration is a health and safety issue when you've got bad people coming in the group. So now you've got criminals with SNAP and EBT that are committing crime over here. But this just shows you...
This is what you're talking about, the U-turn.
Yeah,
yes, and it's horrible. Oh, don't look. That's the minivan that just went under. You know, a whole family just perished there on a Florida highway because this guy had an illicit commercial license. He did not get that license in Florida. He had driven apparently several states over.
Where did he get the license?
I do not recall where he got the license. I think it was California. But this is an example of an illegal, poorly trained that gets a commercial license and does it. And look at that.
Can't speak English.
He makes a U-turn. He wasn't even going to make the U-turn. You see, there wasn't enough space for the vehicle to even make the turn he's talking about, and he ends up taking the lives of, this is horrible. And so I believe it was the state of California license. Yep. So what this shows you is how far...
It is. Rob, you're saying it was.
This is exactly, there it is. This is how it starts. Giving illegal CDL driver's license, that's how it ends, on a highway somewhere with innocent people killed because of the ridiculously unsafe maneuver that they make. And so this is what you're seeing. And by the way, I said 3 weeks ago, and a bunch of people said, oh, you got to prove that. There's a couple people on X. I said, when you find out the fraud in California of what they did with welfare and other benefits, they may not have been sending it in foreign receipts to Al-Shabaab the way they were in Minnesota, but the numbers in California are going to dwarf the numbers that are in Minnesota in terms of the billions of dollars that is U.S. taxpayer money that was bailing out California that was used for that. This shows how far California will do to cut corners and give things to illegals rather than protecting its own people.
I'm going to go to one of you guys, whoever has a stronger opinion, just one person to give thoughts on this before I go to the next one.
I'll give you something on California.
Go.
I was having a conversation with a buddy the other day. He's basically saying California, he says, is the best state in the union. I go, yeah, what are you based on that? He goes, it's beautiful there. I go, you know what California is? California is a beautiful supermodel who's a 10 out of 10 on the outside and just broken and decayed with terrible values and no principles on the inside. She's basically a hot OnlyFans model. You look great from afar, but once you open up and see what's going on inside, it's all just decayed and zero morals or values, and anything goes there. That's California. Of course, it's a gorgeous state on the outside. On the inside, go down the list here. How many times you talked about the crime, the homelessness, the overregulation, the absolute immigration, the welfare state, the $23 billion that they spent on homelessness that didn't solve anything, and it's all being masqueraded by this cosplaying leader named Gavin Newsom. And by the way, this supermodel, when you turn out, not only she has a bad personality, turns out she had a penis as well. You didn't expect that one coming, but that's trans California for you.
Who had a penis?
Women in California.
Women in California have penises?
Of course, all the time. They play sports with all the boys.
How do you know?
With all the girls. Listen, I had to do my in-depth research, PBD.
Yeah,
but it's not pretty down there.
Here's what I will tell you. When you hear stories like this, this is when one state's bad policies. So there's one thing for you to have your policies destroy the people that live in your state. It's another thing when your state's bad policies destroyed other people in other states that don't follow your policies. And California is guilty for that. So we'll see what's going to happen at the end of the day.
What was the Nicki Minaj component to
Nicki
all this?
Minaj blasts Newsom saying he wants to see trans kids. It's the end of the road for you. Vinny, I'll let you take that one with Nicki Minaj.
Well, because I had three things. Well, I'm so, by the way, I love, out of all the celebrities, Nicki Minaj has, like, I think something like just woke her up. Like, I never had nothing ill will against her. I loved her music back in the day when I used to listen to it, but she's catching on. the stuff that's happening in Nigeria, the Christians getting killed. She's finally seeing like what is happening, and she can't take it anymore. You know what I mean? She was talking about the trans. Look, she goes, imagine being the guy running and wanting to see trans kids, because there's a clip of Gavin Newsom. Could you play it? And I want to just point something out, Pat. There's 3 things that he did this past weekend that just shows the character of the slithering snake. He's lies, he's a hypocrite, and he's literally a sociopath. Show what he said about the trans kids, Robbie.
That's an issue no one wants to hear about, because 80% of the people listening disagree with my position on this. But it comes from my heart, not just my head. It wasn't a political evolution. Your position being that I don't think it's. I want to see trans kids. I have a trans godson. There's no governor that's done more pro-trans legislation than I have, and no one has been a stronger advocate for the LGBTQ community.
He wants to see trans kids. He wants to see your children, not his, your children, transition and get hormone therapy and puberty blockers and all that. And he wants them to compete. He wants men to compete in women's sports, which he said he was against. Liar, number 1. Number 2, do you guys remember when he tried to pass legislation, actually he did, about banning deep fakes and stuff like that? He posted a video of President Trump, Secretary Hegseth, and Stephen Miller being arrested in a car. He says he's anti that. He's the one doing it, and he's promoting it. And then the last one, Rob, I want everybody to know he is the front runner for the Democratic Party. I said it here when Mr. Beady Eyes, what was his name that was here? The podcaster, Rob, that bet me money. They're obsessed with us on the PBD podcast.
Sam Cedar.
Sam Cedar he wakes up and he goes, oh, PBD and Vinny. That guy is obsessed with us. Hey, Sam, look at me. I should have bet 1,000. He's going to owe me money because Gavin Newsom's not only the front runner. I want everybody to understand this. If this guy becomes the president of the United States, I will bet anybody, and Sam, you can bet money with me too. The first order of business he's going to do is, what do you think? He's going to open the border, number 1, because he says right here, he is proud. Look at him. He's trending. He's going to be number 1. Who's the other ones? AOC, Kamala. That's not going to happen. He says, Rob, you can play that video. Look at what he says about being proud for giving healthcare to illegals. Mind you, guys, your money, your tax dollars, he's proud and he's gloating. And this type of attitude, he's anti-ICE. He will open the border. And I have a take on what we should do as Americans if they do it. Go ahead, Rob.
Relates to undocked healthcare, yeah, I'm proud of that because I believe in universal healthcare. You know, others may say it. I did it. First state in the country, regardless of pre-existing conditions, ability to pay, and regardless of your immigration status. I promised that. I promoted it. I ran 3 times on it. I did it when I was mayor. People know who I am.
Did everybody catch that?
So he believes in universal
Adam,
healthcare.
thank you. Meaning, even for illegal, you're here illegally, and no wonder why all the things that you hit, Adam. Homelessness, broke, gas, nothing is going right in California. And people, guys,
but the weather's fantastic.
Yeah, and guess what? All these people are going to vote for this guy as if he has a good resume. And I'm telling everybody, and I feel ashamed, Rob, I think me and you talked about this. If they do something like that, wide open border, which I'm so, during the Biden administration when they did that, and Texas tried to put barbed wire, Tom, and they brought the White House, put bulldozers, the government, and picked it up,
lifted up
and said, come on in. What should we do? I want to ask you this.
Vinny, your passion is amazing. And what you're talking about is people will say, oh, Vinny doesn't know what Gavin's going to do. Let's go to his resume.
Yeah.
He was the mayor of, when he said I was mayor of San Francisco, who stood on the steps, conducted a wedding, and dared the U.S. Supreme Court to say it was unconstitutional. And there are people living in San Francisco who would never, ever, ever vote for Republicans that say that the policies and the things he did led to some of the accelerated decay that was in San Francisco. So we don't need to think about what Gavin is going to do. Let's look at his resume as governor. Let's look at his resume as San Francisco. Unfortunately, voters over there on the liberal side simply will not look at that resume.
They don't care.
And because they feel that they have been so convinced. Remember, you and I think Democrats are wrong and need to sit down and listen to reason and come across. Democrats think you and I are evil. That's the difference. They think we're evil. We think they're wrong. And so they are brainwashed into never, ever, ever, ever considering us, even though they will look at it. And you're starting to see Omar get it this weekend, getting criticism from her own party, getting people that are stepping back from her. Man, with all the stuff that's going on, all these shootings, people are stepping away from Omar, not from the party, but they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to walk down the hall of the bathroom so I'm not in the group picture with Omar on this one.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's what's happening here. It's not what he's going to do. We have the resume, ladies and gentlemen. You can go look at the man's resume, and that's what's coming.
Yep.
Vinny's right about what the future holds, but the resume tells you just how right Vinny is.
And I hope, Tom, great point, and I just hope that people know, if this guy wins, or any Democrat, especially him, because he's the front runner, wins, and they open the border, it's going to be our responsibility. Seriously, you know what they talk about, Pat, the enemies, foreign and domestic? We have to literally go to the border and say no, us as Americans, and because that's an invasion. And look at, Donald Trump has to undo the problem of the previous administration, letting in 20 million people. We as Americans, and I'm not going to just be the talk, I swear to you guys, mark my words, if they do that and he wins, we have to go there, us, and fight for our border and say, no, you're not letting anybody in here. With whatever force needed, nope, you guys, sorry, we're full. Get out. Unbelievable.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Nicki Minaj for calling out Gavin Newsom. That's not par for the course, especially if you're in that world. Now, here's my question. Why do you think all of a sudden Nicki Minaj, massive rapper, massive performer, out of nowhere is starting to criticize Gavin Newsom and criticize his acceptance of trans kids? Why do you think that is?
Do you think it's really out of nowhere, or do you think it's like, what
Why
was
do you think
Kelsey
it is?
Grammer's group?
Somebody in her family?
No, because she had a son.
Oh, she had
Because she had a kid. And something happens to women when they have kids. Look at the stats. Unmarried, childless women vote Democrat in large numbers. And once women become mothers and have kids and have responsibility, I know that's a big word, they tend to think a little bit more logically. So my assumption is Nicki Minaj doesn't want her son to end up being trans and just wants him to be a normal boy. That's my assumption. And she's looking at Gavin Newsom being like, so you want more trans kids? That's what you're supporting? Little too far.
I don't know. It's just because she had a son. Because a lot of, look at Dwayne Wade. Look at Magic Johnson. They had a son. And both their sons. Have you seen Magic Johnson's son?
Oh my!
He's
goodness.
a giant transgender guy.
Is he trans or is he just plays a woman?
I don't know. I don't know what he
thinks he's a woman.
He plays a woman, right?
Oh my God!
Look at Dwayne Wade's, right? You see Megan Fox. Megan Fox has how many? You see these actors and actresses who have 2 or 3 trans kids.
She has more than one
Oh,
trans kid?
what about a lot, dude? The majority of these, because they think it's cool. It's a trend.
Yeah, it's fashionable. It's
fad.
cool.
It's really
It
what it
means you're
is.
It's kind of like wearing a puppy, in your book bag.
But that's what even makes it tougher and more admirable for what Nicki Minaj is doing. Let me get to the next story here. Rob Reiner. We get the story. All of us saw this yesterday. As if the weekend wasn't already crazy and tragic enough. All of a sudden, you see here the story. In Rob Reiner's house, a 78-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman are found dead. What do you mean? But how come you don't say it's them?
Yeah.
That's the first reporting where everybody's like, what are they talking about? Rob is 78. His wife, Michelle, I believe, is 68.
Yes.
No. So, it is them. They would have, how? Knife. How? Who?
Robbery homicide showed up. Robbery homicide.
And then TMZ, and it's like, no, their son, Nick. Why? Yeah, but the daughter went in and then called the cops and go find my brother. Why the brother? Well, he was a homeless, he was a drug abuser, and they even did a documentary or whatever show that they did. And wait a minute, what are we talking about with all this stuff? This is Rob Reiner, who was extremely critical of Trump, but the day Charlie Kirk died, he was actually very, respectful about the whole of what happened. And even though politically, he cannot stand what Charlie's all about. This is Rob Reiner. If you want to play this clip with him and Piers Morgan. Go ahead, Rob.
About the murder of Charlie Kirk. What was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror. Absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, at the memorial they had, was exactly right. And totally. I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful and absolutely, when she forgave his assassin.
Right there. So, Tom, thoughts on this story?
Well, when you hear, Rob Reiner say that in the interview with Pierce, you say to yourself that below, and he had a lot of anger. You see his tweets. Some of his tweets were really intense. But you see that underneath it, there's a human being, and there's a human being that's speaking in very measured terms, and you can hear his voice. I don't think he's posturing there.
Wow.
I think.
By the way, breaking news. I don't mean to interrupt. As of 1 hour ago, the son is officially arrested. Okay, so the son,
Rob Reiner's son,
which is his bail pat. I think it's like $4 million.
Rob
bail.
just sent this to me. Rob Reiner's son
charged
was
with
just
murder.
arrested.
There it is.
32 years old. Held at Parker Central Jail in downtown L.A. with his bail set at $4 million. A rep for the L.A. County reported. Rep did not immediately respond to the questionnaire, but that's what was said.
And
so
allegedly, he slit their throats, and they had multiple stab wounds on top of that. So it was bad. It was really
having
bad.
their throats slit during a heated argument with a family member. The duo were declared dead at the scene over the weekend. Nick is being what? 78 and 16. In addition, Nick and Romy, they also survived son Jake, as well as Rob's daughter, Tracy, from a previous marriage. The couple's heartbroken. Family members issued a touching statement in the wake of the sudden loss.
Wow.
Posted a picture of the entire family. Oh, my goodness. That is... Tom, please continue.
This shows the importance of parenting, the importance of getting help for your kids when they're out there on the edge. And but for Rob, it was very, I thought, very appropriate the way he reacted when he talked to Pierce. And I saw a human underneath the angst and everything that he would show on Twitter and his opinions, and very, very volatile times, aren't we all? He was very, very measured, and I appreciated that. And then when I read this, I read about a family that's got a troubled kid and a troubled kid that struggled with mental illness. And parts of the report coming out, and I hope these are correct because we're repeating things that have been posted by a variety of usually reputable celebrity magazines, that he was homeless, he was struggling emotionally, he had struggled with drugs, and that the family did not reach out to rescue him by giving him money that would just continue it. They were hoping he would get into treatment, and ultimately he comes home and there's some volatile argument here that leads to one of the most horrific. I mean, I haven't read anything this horrific since the Menendez brothers killed their parents. Yeah. I mean, this is just horrifying. And that's how I feel about it. If you've got kids and you've got kids who are on the edge, you got to get clergy, you got to get a faith foundation, you got to get people in the room with you, because this is where it can end. And this is just horrifying.
The president just tweeted a couple thoughts here, and to his same old way that the president has always been. He didn't hold back, and he went straight to it.
Can I take a wild guess?
He did give his...
he loves him, and then he craps all over him?
Yeah, you should read this. Okay, so a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as the Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace.
Not a fan of that. I'm gonna say that right now.
There's a better way to do that.
I remember speaking to Charlie Kirk at the memorial when he went on stage and said, Charlie's cool with his enemies. I'm not. Meaning, Rob Reiner has called him a fascist, a Hitler. Okay. The guy is dead, murdered by his son, slit him and his wife's throat over an argument during the holidays. I do not like that at all. Let me just say that. In regard to Rob Reiner, God rest his soul, that guy gave me and my family so many moments of, Pat, Stand By Me, The Spinal Tap, A Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally, Misery. If you really think about this guy's work, and he was one of the guys that I said years ago, if I ever met him, because I saw him once passing in Hollywood, I was going to say thank you because of his brilliance. He gave us moments where I was in a household where my father drank and it was always pandemonium and crazy and yelling and arguing and drinking. He gave me moments where we would sit and watch Stand By Me. We would sit there and watch these movies and it was an escape. And Stand By Me and A Few Good Men are going down in the top 50. So I want to say God rest his soul, and I want to thank him wherever he is in heaven for giving me those moments where I got to unplug and not deal with the drama of our life. And I want to say God rest his soul.
Adam.
So I've actually dealt with a situation like this before, which is crazy. I had a very good friend, and there's a brother and a sister. And the brother had a massive, massive, massive drug problem. And they were trying to help the guy, and they were accommodating him. And eventually, in a fit of rage, wanting money and drugs, and the mother wouldn't help him, he took a baseball bat and murdered his mom.
Jeez.
Straight up. This was in Miami.
You told me this story once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, just the most tragic, disgusting thing you can think about. But it goes further. It's like, all right, so he's still in jail. What does he think about every single day? I murdered my mom with a baseball bat. His sister, who I was friends with back in the day, she has kids. What does she say to her kids? Oh. You know, not to bring Charlie Kirk or Erika Kirk in there. What does Erika Kirk say to her kids? So, you know, a theme of the show today is this suicidal empathy and being too tolerant. I don't know what happened with Rob Reiner. I'm not questioning his life at this point. But at some point, you know, this suicidal empathy turned into homicidal empathy. And the kid that he brought into the world took him and his wife out. So the son murdered his parents on some Menendez type stuff.
Allegedly.
Over an argument.
Allegedly.
That's what he's been charged with.
And he's been a drug addict and homeless and the whole deal. And I'm not blaming the parents, but at what point, like, did you allow this kid to get this bat?
Well, but a lot of drugs do, like, I don't know what he was on at the moment. We have to find out a bunch of stuff with all they're probably going to drug test him and all that stuff, but drugs will ruin whatever he was on, your brain, and make you crazy. Maybe he was asking for money or something, and then in the heat of the moment, who knows?
In and out of rehab since 15th birthday. Of course, this is an article that People did with him in 2016, where Nick Reiner talks about being homeless and living on the streets of LA, but also being taken to his first rehab facility around his 15th birthday.
That's wild. You know what that means? You've been going at it for a couple of years.
I mean, that's unfortunately, this is par for the course in Hollywood. I don't know if you remember this, PBD, when we were at Mar-a-Lago maybe 2 months ago, you were filming for that movie.
Yeah.
We were sitting there.
Yeah.
And then we ended up talking to the director afterwards. And I want to say he was friends or business partners with Rob Reiner.
Yep.
And he was basically saying, what a great guy, but just completely has TDS. And there's no coming back from it. That's separate note from what happened to him, tragedy. But when it comes to Hollywood, when it comes to movies, he's one of the few good men that's made some of the greatest movies of our generation. And rest in peace. It's absolute tragedy what happened to the guy.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You hear stories like this, you're thinking like I said, this weekend was 4 movies. Like, it was a fictional weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't feel like it's a real thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fictional weekend where, that's probably out of a movie you watch. Yeah, there's some, that's a pretty bad movie. That sucks for some. No, these are all true stories of what happened this weekend that we have to talk about here today. And while this is going on, 3 Americans killed in ISIS attack in Syria. Trump says vows to retaliate. He vows very serious retaliation against ISIS after deadly Syrian ambush kills 3 soldiers. Go ahead, Rob.
We mourn the loss of 3 great patriots attacks in Syria. You know how it happened. It was an ambush, terrible. We also have 3 wounded. They seem to be doing pretty well. But we mourn the loss. These are 3 great people. And it's just a terrible thing. Syria, by the way, was fighting along with us. The new president of Syria is, as they told me, and I'm not surprised, he's devastated by what happened. This was an ISIS attack on us and Syria. And again, we mourn the loss and
pause
we
right
pray for
there.
them.
Tom, thoughts?
This just goes to remind you, number one, what a dangerous world it is. But number two, that whether they have seemingly sense of stability in Syria after the fall of Bashar al-Assad last year, or whether there's times of peace, the undercurrent, ISIS and the extremist undercurrent, is there to be opportunistic and to kill and terror. There is no peace with them. Deep inside, they want to turn things. And you could have 98.5% of Syria kind of moved and stabilized, and then you've got the American flag on the shoulder of servicemen along with an interpreter and a couple other security guides, and these guys come out of nowhere and plan it. No, they didn't come out of nowhere. They planned it. They see where we are. They see what we're doing. They see what the assignment is. What duty did you pull? They see what these guys are doing, and they come out of it. And then this just shows you, ISIS has not been defeated. Terrorism in the Middle East has not been defeated. And every time you think it has, you have to go look at this. And it has to be dealt with in strong terms. And which is why I think what's happening on the coast of Venezuela, that's very, very strong. What's the strong presence there? Radar aircraft, surveillance aircraft, electronic interdiction aircraft, and everything that's going there. Let me tell you, Roosevelt was right. And I'm talking about the good one that shot bears. Theodore Roosevelt said, you speak softly and carry a big stick. And when Ronald Reagan named one of the newest carriers, he said, they wouldn't let me call it the big stick, so I'm just going to call it the USS Theodore Roosevelt. But that new carrier is my big stick. And then I think this is all interrelated, Pat. It's all interrelated. You have to deal strongly and decisively. The minute you think, oh, it's under control, it's stabilized, everybody's cool, they got their snap cards, guess what? They come out, they watched. This was an ambush. This was an observation. They went on a mission here because they watch us, they see us, what was going on. This was not opportunistic.
Adam.
What did we see Trump do at the Army-Navy game? Do we have a clip of that? Because I think that was shortly after this. Was he not honoring the fallen soldiers who were killed by ISIS? Was that?
Well, I think no. He was just going to the game. Period.
Okay.
Just to be the honorary. He
showed it for the coin toss.
Yeah, he did the coin toss, which was. And by the way, the referee did one of the dopest shout outs.
Respectful.
He respected the hell out of the president of the United States.
Play it.
Mr. President, would you do the honors? Are you all set? It is tails. Army, you've won the toss.
Damn. Did you have?
Wait, you didn't see the speech.
Oh,
before.
the speech.
It was actually a very good speech. It's all good.
I love the speech.
Yeah, but look, too many events, same time, 2 words: compatible, coexist. We don't have to live in the same house. We don't have to live in the same country. You can have your set of standards, your own laws in your country. If you think it's okay to have a 52-year-old man marry a 9-year-old girl and that's your law in your country, we don't agree with it. But you can have it in your country because we don't have jurisdictions over your country, right? We're not globalists. We're nationalists. We love America. This is where we want to raise our kids. But if you want to bring that mindset of people that were raised in that kind of an environment to a place like this, guess what? Not compatible, cannot coexist. It's going to clash. It's not going to work. And if one company, one country has had success attracting the type of people that love being here, well, then keep doing it. Quit trying to force people to fit thinking you can change them. It's like the girl that keeps dating bad boys because she thinks she can change them. It's like the guy that keeps dating girls who have had horrible experiences with their fathers because he thinks he can change them. No. Compatibility, coexist. Keep those 2 things in mind. It seems to be a pattern here with what we're talking about. All right. By the way, quick shout out, Rob. Ronaldo just announced a new cigar lounge that is a private cigar lounge. And guess what rule they follow?
Huh.
You know what they're
phones?
announcing? No phones. Okay, I don't know where he got that idea from, but no cell phones. Similar to ours, okay? And guess what we're doing on January 2nd, a day after New Year's?
January 2nd.
January 2nd, we are, Rob, if you can go to the boardroom, if you can go to the website and I'll put the link below. January 2nd, we are having a special event at our cigar lounge, at the boardroom. We even have a video of the event, but don't worry about it, Rob. It's all good. At January 2nd, with Stephen A. Smith at the boardroom. January 2nd. You guys didn't know this.
I didn't have no idea.
Then I'm announcing it as well. First I'm finding out.
Essay.
January 2nd, Stephen A. Smith, live podcast. And guess what it's for? Members only. So, Rob, if you want to put the link below, if anybody wants to be a member, if you want to meet Stephen A., if you want to see what the cigar lounge looks like, the Platinum Lounge in the back or the main room for the gold members, go to the link, apply to be considered. And by the way, the only people that know about the cigar lounge are the ones that either consume the content here or other people introduce them to us. And they go through a background check that we do on the individuals that become members, and nobody can take their phones in. The first thing you do when you walk in is we take your phone, we put it in the locker room, we give you a key card, then you come back at the end, you get your phone back, no pictures, nothing being taken inside, just network and talk to one another. So go to the boardroom, cigarlounge.com, and apply to be considered. Someone will get a hold of you and tell you all about the cigar lounge.
January 2nd is a Friday night.
It's a Friday night.
Friday Night Lights with Stephen A. Smith in the house.
Friday Night Lights with Stephen A. Smith
Hell yeah.
is exactly what it is. Yes, is exactly what it is. All right. So, Bob Iger. Tom, is that where we want to go? Do we want to go to the Disney story? No, actually, I want to go to this next story that we haven't done yet. And somebody, explosive Epstein photos release shows Trump with Clinton as Democrats reveal secretive 95,000 picture stash.
Oh, weird.
And the one picture that's going viral that they hid, the pictures of the women, Rob, look at this.
Oh, my God.
Have you seen this? Yeah. They post this picture to say they're underage. And then look what they're circling. Do you see what they're circling?
His hand on somebody's waist.
Do you see what they're circling?
Yeah.
His hand on the waist.
Yeah.
But by the way, this picture has been public for decades.
Yeah.
This is not a new picture, okay?
Trump hanging out with models? No way.
That's been public for decades. And there's a bunch of other pictures that came out. Rennie, I don't know how close you were following this, but these are pictures. Rob, why are you going so fast?
Because the photo, so just so you know, those faces were redacted. These are the faces of the clearly over the age of 18 women that Donald Trump was filmed with. You can see his hand here. They didn't circle it in there. But this is the faces of the women that they blacked out to make it look like they were underage victims.
Can he get them in trouble for that?
No one him. He will do. By the way, there's a bunch of pictures.
Guys,
Epstein,
the media wouldn't
Bannon,
try
all
to
this
spread
stuff. But I'm
lies
tell
and
you something.
misinformation
I'm gonna
about
tell you
Trump.
something.
Come on.
An insider
Crazy talk.
did send me a picture, Rob. It's the one I just sent you, Rob. I don't know if you got it or not. Do you see it? Don't be offended when you see the picture, though. A picture with an underage boy the president is with.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Are you
guys,
serious?
I just want to let you know, close your eyes.
How this is going to ruin that for me?
This is the
with
president.
Macaulay Culkin right there he is.
Underage
Hey, right
boy.
over that way, buddy.
Okay.
Gotta be careful,
boy,
Macaulay.
that it's official. It's official. And nobody knows who this is.
No.
Nobody knows who this is, but this was
That's
also
the Waldorf
leaked.
Astoria.
Yeah, especially
So
during
it
Christmas
was-
season. We've never seen this movie
It
during
wasn't
Christmas
Michael
season.
Jackson.
Over.
It could have been Trump.
I'm voting
It's
for
over.
Newsom.
It is officially
The
over.
wet bandits.
my
The
gosh.
wet bandits. We got to be careful, Joe
Wet
Pesci.
bandits, sticky bandits, whatever you want to call them. Well, you're bandits. They're bandits of what they're doing.
Jeez.
Right?
Bandits.
So all these guys, and it's officially done.
What
So
year was
folks,
Home Alone?
whatever you're doing today, guys, guess what? Impeachment's probably around the corner. This one picture alone is going to be done. I mean, it's like scary. So, Vinny, when you see this stuff being leaked, Woody Allen says he is not sorry about his friendship with Epstein. Not sorry at
Woody
all,
Allen
Vinny.
doubling down.
He's not
Woody.
sorry.
Well,
he's not sorry. He's saying he is not sorry at all. Look at that picture right there.
Wow. From a
Woody.
man who adopted his future wife.
I was going to say, Woody Allen probably doesn't have the most credibility when it comes
Woody
to
Allen, of all people,
inappropriate sexual activity.
Here's the one thing that bothers me. Like you said, they've had all this stuff. The Democrats are doing this is the first thing that bothers me. the popular vote, swing states, Donald Trump won. He had a mandate. And since 2016, you even said it, they've been trying to assassinate and ruin, besides killing him, Tom, they're trying to bankrupt him. They want to put him in jail. It's like, enough. This is who we all voted for, and we want him to do what he's going to do. This is just another last ditch of it. By the way, go back to that photo, Rob. Zoom into that. Somebody was saying that he actually had a photo there, Pat, of like a trafficked victim. They even covered the face on this because that's how bold he was. And there's Steve Bannon hanging out, I guess, interviewing him. But this is, the Democrats are a joke.
Well, Comer comes out and threatens the Clintons with contempt for refusing to be deposed in Epstein probe. Okay.
Yes.
This is what Comer comes out and says. So because, they keep saying, September. Well, the Clintons. Nothing's happened so far.
They keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. But here's the thing. Do you guys catch the pattern? The Clintons, all these, Bill Gates, all these people, everybody. And then you have Woody Allen, who, guys, if you want to know the history of Woody Allen, just go look it up. When there's a leaked phone call of, I don't know, was it the wife, somebody talking about what he did to this child. It's the most saddest, depressing freaking audio. And for him to say, I'm not ashamed and I'm not going to cover it up, that just goes to prove to you that the most powerful, elite, underage, alleged people, they know that there's zero consequences. So for everybody shifting it to Trump, get a life. Get a life.
Get a life.
Get a life, okay? Because if they had it, they would have shown it. They would have played that card a long-ass time ago.
Yeah.
Okay? So enough of it already. The major one person, to me, is Bill Clinton. Okay? The guy that signed them on to the White House a bunch of times. Mark Middleton, who was the guy that signed them on, hanged himself and shot himself in the shotgun, and the shotgun was in another. Give me a break. Okay? Give me a break. I hate the arrogance of knowing that they're never going to get in trouble. That's what bothers me, and that's why I even posted something this weekend. Tom, you've been proud of me. I go, guys, for everybody out there that is frustrated about the lack of accountability, rest assured, you're not going to hide from God's judgment. I want everybody out there to understand that because I'm with you. There's a lot of people out there that are like, Vinny, what the hell? Why are you slowing down? I'm like, guys, at some point you have to understand, God, you're not going to hide from that light. You're not. I don't care where you try to hide and burrow yourself. God, you're going to have to face the man at one point in your life, and that gives me comfort, Tom, because we don't get it here. Satan runs this place, okay? The Prince of Darkness runs this place. He's not messing with anybody up there, and God's going to hold him accountable.
Yeah, Jesus loves everybody. So I always say to people, they say, well, doesn't Jesus love everybody? And I said, yeah, for instance, Jesus loves you, but we think you should be in prison. I mean, there are two worlds of consequence. There's eternal consequence, and then there's earthly consequence. Earthly consequence, you can end up in jail and all the stuff you've done. And what the only peace that I have is I know that God is a just God, but I don't want these people to go to hell based on their earthly deeds. I want them to find Christ. But if your earthly deeds have put you in a position that you deserve consequence, whether that's prison or you lose a lawsuit, you have to repay victims, then that absolutely should happen, and we should not wait for you to be in front of God for judgment. But make no mistake, I want people to find Christ. I want them to find forgiveness.
Let me get to this next story. I got two more stories.
I was just about to find Christ, man. I mean,
no,
I don't think it's gonna
I'll
happen.
talk to you after.
I don't think you're welcome. But
what
let
the
me
hell's
get to the
going
next
on?
story.
I'll talk to you after.
Well, regarding Trump,
yeah,
I got good news for the Dems. You only have 3 years left with the guys. Enjoy it while it lasts. Because here's the deal. You're never going to hate anybody as much as you hate Trump. So just galvanize and just appreciate the fact that this is the height of TDS. There's no one you're going to hate more than Trump. You're not going to hate J.D. Vance. You're not going to hate Vivek. Nobody that comes in there, you're going to hate more than Trump. So relish in it. Soak it all in. Can we go back to those black box pictures? We're going to blur out all these clearly over 18 women and pretend that he's some sort of child molester. They hate Trump the same reason they hate straight white men. They hate white Christian straight men. And he's a billionaire. We hate Trump. And he says not nice things. Listen, as someone who almost got afflicted with TDS many years ago, it's okay to reverse the curse. Join the Team America. America first.
Let me get to the next. I want to do a business story since we're together. Disney CEO Bob Iger's warning over Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery deals. Impact on consumers. Oh my God, it's going to impact you. Okay, but you could go anywhere but Netflix. Bob Iger just doesn't want Time Warner to go to Netflix because Netflix is going to be a direct competitor to who? To Disney. Right, while I'm going and reading this story, can you do me a favor and pull up the market cap on Netflix and Disney? Just pull up the market cap on those two while I'm reading the story. Disney CEO Bob Iger warned Netflix deal with Warner Brothers Discovery could harm consumers by reducing competition in the streaming market. Says the guy that bought everything. What the hell are you talking about? You bought up everybody. Okay? You, Bob, you bought up everybody. You're the greedy CEO that was known as a guy that was making so many deals and nobody got in your way. Now you want to come up and talk about monopoly laws and stuff like this? Iger, speaking at New York Times Deal Block Summit on Wednesday, said the agreements, which include Netflix license and HBO content, potentially distributing Warner's Max service, risk creating a duopoly with Disney. If you look at the deals that Netflix is doing with Warner Brothers Discovery, it seems to me that they're trying to create a duopoly in the marketplace with Disney. The Disney's chief argued that less competition could lead to higher price and fewer choices for viewers. Ultimately, consumers are going to suffer because there will be less competition. Yet, and Netflix has struck multiple pacts with Warner Brothers Discovery in recent months, including a deal to stream CNN's New Year's Eve coverage on there. Reports have surfaced that Netflix's talks to bundle or distribute Max in the U.S. similar to Disney. Iger suggests that regulators should scrutinize such agreements. And by the way, why don't you say it, Bob, that you're siding with Trump? Okay, why don't you say that you're siding with Trump? By the way, while this is taking place, guess what Paramount is saying? Paramount says money is no object. Warner Brothers isn't convinced. So will it happen or won't it happen? Nobody knows. Tom, is money an object? Is Bob Iger full of it? Is he playing politics? Is he afraid of his legacy, or is he right?
Tune in next week for the next exciting edition of Avengers to find out the answer to these and other burning questions.
Yeah.
So, well, Paramount says money is no object, but you have to remember Paramount is, there's a lot of people that are behind that. And people are saying, well, Oracle's having this. They got this financial circle they're running around with OpenAI and NVIDIA. Stop. This isn't about Oracle. This is about all of the funders and investors that are behind it. Money is no object, but not an infinite price. That's the truth about that one. And on the other side, what's really, really interesting, Iger is speaking about that. How about we text Neil Mohan and ask him how Iger and them negotiated recently on ESPN? Sure seems like that they were exercising monopoly power over sports, and they really were giving YouTube TV a hard time, but Neil Mohan held the line. Remember we covered that? Mm-hmm. So it's like now you go to a deal book and suddenly, Bob Iger gets religion and goes to deal book. Oh, I don't think this should be. If there's because remember, if you make another one big, we could have a duopoly. Well, that means if it's only you at the moment, then whoops, you're kind of monopolistic over a lot of things here. And you've also got, oh, wait a minute. Now I understand why you were so upset with YouTube TV. You own all of Hulu now. Gosh, now I remember. But I think what we're seeing here is that the regulators and where it's going to go. Never mind the all the people are trying to connect the dots on President Trump and did this person talk to him? Then Ted Sarandos talked to him? Then Larry talked to him? No. I think it really comes down to the Federal Trade Commission needs to make it a group of three. Somebody's going to buy Paramount because otherwise Paramount's going to hit the rocks.
Not Paramount, Time Warner, you mean?
Yeah, somebody's gonna buy Time Warner Discovery, and they're gonna hit and if not, that ship's gonna hit the rocks, and a whole bunch of stuff's gonna spill. And the real issue is, what do we do with CNN? And right now they're talking about, putting CNN into that, Warner Brother Discovery Global and make a little stock out of it and put it over there. And so I think it's going to happen, and I think it's going to be Paramount that wins it. And it's not that money is no object. It's just that they have the funding and they can pull it off. And I think, there's a lot of reasons Netflix shouldn't be allowed to do this.
Okay, so can we pull up the market cap? So Disney is worth today what?
$200 billion almost.
What is the number? Market cap? No, not market. Okay, $198 billion. All right, perfect. Disney today is worth $198 billion. Can we see how much Netflix is worth today? Today, market cap, $431 billion. Wow. When was Disney started? 1950s? 1940s? Mm-hmm. When was Netflix started? 30 years ago? By the way, what was Netflix worth, Rob, if you can look it up, 10 years ago? 2015. What was the market cap of Netflix and Disney in 2015? What was the market cap of the two in 2015? Watch this. Netflix's market cap was $50 billion, okay, is what Netflix was worth. Disney's market cap was $174 billion. Mr. Bob Iger, you ready? Netflix CEO, Reed Hastings, has taken a smaller company that got started in what year, Rob? Late 90s, early 2000s? He took a small little company, Netflix, that got started in 1997. That was a DVD company. From zero to 400, almost $500 billion. 10 years ago, they were worth 50. You were worth 175. You were 3x them. You've stayed at the same valuation for 10 years. Under your watch, Netflix has 10x'd in the last 10 years. Maybe the operator needs to retire. You. Maybe it's time for you to simply retire, Bob Iger. 5 years too late. If you would have done it in 2000 and never came back, this would have been a great story. But for the guy that is saying we shouldn't allow Netflix to do the deal, and by the way, I'll tell you my opinion, I think it should go to Paramount. I think it should go to the Ellisons. You know why? Because I don't trust you. I don't trust you, the way you're operating. I don't trust the fact that you pushed out a couple people that should have been board members, and the fact that almost 80% of every money and donation you give goes to the Democratic Party, and you had people at the higher ranking that every single damn time I took my kids to movies, I had to see and explain what the hell of a transgender is to my 7-year-old kid at the time because you okayed it as the CEO. How many times do we have to walk in the first 15 minutes of a flipping movie under your watch? Buddy, you, Bob Iger, you did that to a great brand that we grew up watching. And you're worried about this? And now you're this noble socialist that a person shouldn't be doing deals? Maybe let me share with everybody the deals, the great deals you did that we recognize. And me, somebody that was a fan of your book, A Ride of a Lifetime, said, man, you guys got to go read it. One of the better executives we've had. You bought Pixar for $7.4 billion in 2006 from Steve Jobs. You bought Marvel, acquisition, 2009, $4 billion. Steal. Lucasfilm, Star Wars, $4 billion in 2012. Steal. 21st Century, 2019, $71 billion. Hulu. Disney Plus. I can't go on with all the stuff that you've done. You want to know what those things are worth today? You paid $4 billion, or whatever you did for Marvel. You paid $4 billion for Star Wars. It's estimated to be worth $40 to $80 billion. Marvel today is estimated to be worth $50 to $100 billion individually. Pixar, 15 to 30. 21st Century, 60 to 100 billion. Hulu, 15 to 30 billion dollars. ESPN, 70 to 120 billion dollars, according to the numbers that I'm looking at here, give or take. Yet your market cap is only $198 billion. Time to retire, Bob. It's that time. You retire, you're going to be respected. You're going to be enamored. You're going to go down as one of the OGs, one of the greatest executives America's ever had. We got to get out of the way today because you're getting in the way of what Disney could possibly happen. And if you don't, Netflix could school you. And not only Netflix, YouTube could school you. Independent creators could create content and cartoons that could school you. That's what's going on with Disney today. And that's my opinion. And by the way, you know how much I believe in the long term of Disney without you? A lot. I just called my Goldman Sachs guy and I bought some shares in Disney about a month ago because I think long term it's going to do well. I'm going long, 20 years, because I know you're eventually going to step down. And I hope somebody new comes in. That's what I'm optimistic about. Not short with you being here and you can't give it up. It is time to walk away Bob Iger. That's what it's time to do. Anyways.
Sir.
Yes, I got one last story to do before.
What it seems like you're not a fan of whatsoever, obviously, is the hypocrisy. It seems like it's rules for thee, not for me. You used to be a fan, I don't want to put words in your mouth, of Bob Iger. What has changed in the last 5 years? Is it just the complete destruction of Disney? Is it the LGBTQ narrative that they're pushing? There must be some hot button issues. I've never seen you go this hard on.
The only last
Bob
story
Iger.
I want to do is Ilhan Omar, and I want to wrap it up. But I'll tell you, if you want to know where with this, we're all going to experience this one day, okay? Where you have to let go and let them do certain things. But if you forget who the number one customer is, I was hopeful of who the two people that could be part of Disney's board. We talked about this time probably a month ago or something like that. And he went and lobbied everybody to not accept him to be part of the board. I don't trust Disney's board today. I don't trust Bob Iger today. I think Bob Iger needs to step down. And I think Disney, keep your, whatever, 60-40 liberal, socialist, liberal, whatever, progressive people you want to keep on the board. But all we asking for is 40% conservative, logical people who have kids. Kids. Your product owners are family people. Family, pro-family. Pro-family is what the customers have been. And you're disrespecting the pro-family customers that you've had for decades. That not you've had, that Walt Disney had. That you, after being there for 41 years, ABC, worked your way up all the way up to being a CEO. Applaud your accomplishments. But it's time to step away. Like I said, Chuck Schumer, LeBron James, and Bob Iger need to retire. Those three need to move to the next phase of their lives. Last one I'm going to do here. Vinny and Tom, I'm coming to you guys on this one because you guys have circled these two stories. And if we don't do it today, we're definitely not doing it on Friday. So let me go to it. Where's this guy at? This Ilhan Omar. What page is that, Rob, so I can do these Ilhan Omar stuff? Oh, there it is. Ilhan Omar's flamboyant, dirty dandy second husband surfaces in South Africa as Trump accuses duo of being siblings. Okay, and then she is being under investigation for immigration fraud from Trump border czar. Tom, what's going on here with Ilhan Omar?
So the facts are coming home to roost, and people like Ted Cruz and others, while she's in a weakened state because of what's going on, she's trying to defend the Somalis, but all the receipts are coming out about the fraud in Minnesota. People are turning up the heat, appropriately so, saying, hey, did you commit immigration fraud under the laws of that time of marrying your brother? I believe Elmi was his name. Did you do that? And now they're turning up the heat on it because apparently he was rarely here. And then before they even got divorced, I guess he took off for the UK, was a professor at University of Bristol or something. And so everybody's like, wow, hang on here. This doesn't really look like a loving, enduring marriage. You mean, where are the kids? Where's the cohabitation? Where's the evidence? And so we used to live in Southern California, Pat, and we used to know that there were some really dirty organizations. We would see it in the newspaper out there. We didn't know these things personally, of where people would be encouraged to marry, women from the Philippines or women from Vietnam. And all they wanted to do was get them to LA, give you a couple $1,000s for marrying them, and then they turn them into sexual slaves. It was horrible. But we saw it. It was in LA. It was in the LA Times. They would bust these gangs all the time for what was going on there. And so now Ted is saying, hang on, Ilhan Omar. Let's pause on the fraud investigations for what you're doing to the American taxpayer for a second. And let's ask a question. Did you come here illicitly? And if you came here illicitly and were never really married or cohabitating, or you married your brother, if that's what you did, then guess what? We want to bring the justice down on you. And, maybe we don't put you in handcuffs and have the ICE people, but you should be out of here. And that's what Ted Cruz and other people are saying. And now the heat's getting turned up because people see that she's weak and they can go after her because she's very busy trying to help Walls defend himself from all of the Somali fraud.
Yeah, weird. Well, I said this last week. If people like Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz had just kept their mouths shut and stopped bringing attention to themselves, they probably would have got, away with all of this, with marrying your brother to bring him into the country, they're saying the number could be $8 billion worth of fraud statewide. It's just all that stuff if you just kept your mouth shut, but you don't want to. So just, on top of this weekend being crazy, her brother was detained by ICE, but he had his passport and they let him go. She made a comment on that. And also, Pat, did you know this? In 2016, she pleaded with a judge to show leniency to 9 Somalians in Minnesota who were charged for trying to join ISIS. That's Ilhan Omar. Did you know that?
Say that again.
In 2000, you know what, Pat? Let's have a reporter just go ahead. Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
2 days ago, but it seems Minnesota Representative-elect Ilhan Omar may have already made her first move as an elected official. In a letter signed November 8th, Omar asks a U.S. district judge for compassion when sentencing 9 Minnesota Somali American men convicted of trying to join the terrorist group ISIS. She says the best deterrent to fanaticism is a system of compassion.
Oh, yeah.
We must alter our attitude and approach if we truly want to affect change.
Yeah.
We should refocus our efforts on inclusion and rehabilitation.
Rob,
but she's not the...
Yeah, they wanted to be terrorists, but come on, they're just kids. Absolutely not. So this is going on to her and all the Somali pirate, this attitude of anti-America. It just keeps piling on. And then, guys, let's not forget, Ted Cruz is off. She didn't marry her brother for her to come in here. She married him to come in here in 2009. Okay, and then, by the way, she came here and when she was 12. She became a citizen at 17. Thomas Holman said something. He said there was immigration fraud involved. There's no doubt about the marriage to her brother.
That's what he's saying you came here fraudulently, and if that's the case, you leave here legally.
Yeah, exactly. But so this prevents Omar from criminal charges because, Pat, the statute of limitations, guys, has passed. But this doesn't protect her from denaturalization or deportation. Matt Tardio posted this. He said, Omar claims she obtained her citizenship when her father was naturalized in 2000, just months before her 18th birthday. But there's a problem. No record has been found of this naturalization paperwork. In response to a FOIA request of her father's N-400 paperwork filed by A.J. Kern in June 2023, the National Records Center was unable to locate any filings under his name. So can she be denaturalized, deported, if this is substantial? Yes, Tom. That's it. Because if fraud was involved in her father's alleged naturalization, then her citizenship can be on the chopping block. That's what Thomas Holman is going to go for. Not the brother thing, which, guys, how much more, and I'll give it to Adam, how much more? Think about this person. You're coming here from Somalia, a place that doesn't even have a freaking government. Okay, Adam even called it a shithole.
Not a working one.
It's not a working government. Okay, you're coming from there, and instead of being grateful and trying to contribute and be happy, and I don't give a damn if she's in Congress, you bash the country, you steal money from us, you're sticking up for freaking terrorists, you marry your brother, okay, and then you come here illegally. What more do you need to have this person
you
bounce?
Create a criminal farm system?
Yeah, we don't want you. We don't want you
Adam,
here.
Thoughts?
Well, speaking of importing terrorists and criminals, there's breaking news from the FBI. I don't know if you've seen this. It's just breaking news. Fox News has reported it. The FBI has announced that they arrested 4 alleged members of the radical pro-Palestinian group accused of plotting a New Year's Eve bombings all throughout LA. According to the FBI, they were allegedly planning coordinated bombing attacks on New Year's Eve using improvised explosive devices, targeting 5 separate locations across LA. Do you have that article right now, Rob?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Ilhan Omar probably write a letter for them to get.
The common theme, like I've said earlier of this episode, is this suicidal empathy and tolerance. When you let terrorist sympathizers parade on your streets, what do you think the outcome is going to be? We just saw what happened in Sydney. They've allegedly arrested 4 Hamas Palestinian sympathizers in LA that were going to blow things up on New Year's. What do you think's going to happen when you let these people in your country? Zero tolerance moving forward. That's my opinion.
This is 4 that they caught. Adam, remember what we just said at the beginning of the show? There's 2 million that we don't know. So everybody, I'm happy that they caught them, obviously. You better stay vigilant. And by the way, this is coming from a Middle Eastern. All right? You got your race. Okay. No.
Yeah, stand by for a liberal judge in L.A. that will say, let's wait till January 2nd and see if they're really serious.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's have empathy for them and sympathy for them and teach them.
Okay. All right. So
Careful out there.
we're at the end of the stories. I do want to recognize the people that went on X and posted PBD podcast hashtag. Rob, do you have all the ones I like? Can you one by one get the ones that I like? Do you know which ones I'm talking about? Do you see them? Can you just get every single one of them? I want to recognize these guys. We have some of them are very funny.
Okay.
Okay. Some of them are very funny. And listen, Adam's going to have to do earmuffs, or maybe Adam, if you need to go use a bathroom, this may not be a bad time for you to do it. Although a couple of them are actually very favorable for you. So let me start off with the first one. Yeah, I know you got it. I know it's a mandatory part to have here. So I'm going to go with the first one. First one is Catalior. Okay. Hashtag PBD Podcast 700 episode. Vinny validates my views. Adam puts me on edge, but has good points. PBD gives a unique business side to everything, and Tom calms me down. By the way, you don't know Tom well enough. Okay? You do not know Tom well enough. But thank you. Do me a favor. Send us a DM, Catalior. We want to send you something from us here. Next one. Reverend Frederick R. March. I love PBD Podcast. I've been watching it for a couple years now, and I love the fact that you'll have anybody to talk to. And if you disagree or agree, it doesn't make any difference to you. You will talk to all of them, which is exactly what this world needs today. Rob, let me know when you have it so we can kind of go through together. Are you able to download all of them one by one or no?
Yeah, I'm going to have to log in. Hang on.
Is it going to take a while, Rob?
No, it'll take 2 seconds.
Okay. So let me get to the next one. Reverend Frederick, send us a message as well. We appreciate you, and we're going to send you $100 cash over. As long as you send us your information, we'll get that over to you. Next one, Usagi. Usagi says, PBD Podcast, love America First Culture, Business Wednesday, entrepreneurship views on the news, the interviews, nuggets for men, fathers, family, godly culture. Would suggest a separate video on the specifically, Pat, our men, boys need how-tos, but my favorite part is the book suggestions and reviews. Fantastic. I love it. And again, DM us. We want to send you a bunch of stuff. Actually, love this review. Send us a DM. We're going to send you some special gifts as well. This next one we have from Jeff May. I love this podcast because it's common sense, opinions on the news that's happening, real guys giving their opinion, not being fake or afraid to see what's right. Keep up the great work. Merry Christmas, brothers. And y'all have a happy New Year's. Jeff, thank you. Another one here. Stacy M. Stacy M. I don't know if you see that one with the U.S. flag. 700. Congratulations to my favorite podcast group, Patrick, with his no-nonsense, sexy leadership voice. Ooh. Tom with his intellectual take on show topics. Vinny with his strong, passionate, fiery statement of truth. And Adam, we love you anyway. Stacy, California fan.
But you got the sexy voice.
We love you too.
You got the sexy one.
Rob, which one are you on, Rob? I'm trying to catch up with you here. So I'm going to go to this next one here. Congrats, 700. Great news. Love you guys. Appreciate you. And it says, even though sauce is on the pod, he tolerates it. Okay, let's see which one we got. There's a couple of them I really like, Rob. I wish we had it together here to go through this thing. Maybe pull up the one with the guy who is in the sauna. Can you go to that one, Rob? Did you see that one?
Is.
Okay, this is Dave. Dave, first of all, are you really watching a podcast in the sauna?
His phone's ruined.
I mean, look at his face, how bad he's sweating there. So, Dave, we're going to send you a Future Looks Bright
towel
Yeti to get some water. We're going to send you that. And maybe an FLB, a towel is coming your way as well.
Dave.
Maybe a Future Looks Bright t-shirt because
Future looks dry.
Got to put a shirt on. He's definitely got to put a shirt on. And last but not least, I saw this one here with a family, mom and daughter together. Christina, I love the fact that even if different opinions, y'all have the platform and allow all opinions to be. Thanks for the Christmas giving. Merry Christmas to y'all from me and my family of 4 in Silsbee, Texas. Christina, Merry Christmas to you. And since it's a 700 show, we want to send you a $700 gift card cash over your way. Send us a DM. We'll send that over to you as well. I had one that I really wanted to read. I think it was the last one, Rob. Okay, yeah, Michelle Pedley. Pull up Michelle Pedley. Adam's got to get love on one of them. Go all the way down with this one, Michelle Pedley. And the other one that I think is going to make Tom blush a little bit. I think Tom's going to like that one. We found the format is what we found. Watch. This is Michelle. Watch every episode of PBD Podcast. Wishing I was living in the U.S. because UK is awful. Vinny has passion. Tom always has true facts. Adam goes on a bit. And last, you're a true example of what a man should be, a loving father, great husband, and a self-made man. Thank you. DM us. We'll send you gifts. But there was one about Adam, my favorite. Okay, the one previous to that. Second to the last one. Tammy says, congrats. What I love, PBD belly laughs. Adam, my favorite. Often different point of view. Vinny, how heated he gets. And Tom reminds me of a wise man and makes me think of my dad. Oh, Tom.
Sweet.
Oh,
Tammy, we love
there
you.
There is one with Tom, Rob. There's one. Oh, there it is. Laura Lou. Oh, go find Laura Lou. No woman should ever need to watch porn.
Oh, my
When we have
God.
a podcast like yours, Tom is the sexiest, but they're all handsome. Congratulations, guys.
Oh, Tom.
Love the podcast.
This is why they think we have bots out here, guys. I don't know.
Tommy, boy.
And I'd like to
Who came
thank
up
you
with
for the
that?
great work you did in my kitchen 10 years ago.
She
If you
finally
guys
showed
only
up.
knew what was going on in Tom's mind.
She finally showed up. Anyways, okay.
Quick shout out. I just got to do it for our guy here because he's having the time of his life. Humberto, your guy, the new Chilean presidente.
Yes, even he lost
Jose
Musk, baby.
Antonio
Congratulations.
Cast.
Congratulations, man.
All right, guys. Hey, if you haven't yet, again, go to vtmerch.com. There's a lot of 17 countries so far have ordered FLBs. And the Christmas stuff, go to vtmerch.com. Place your order. There's a lot of good items there. Go support it. If you believe Future Looks Bright, represent it. We're excited about what's happening here. Even though this was a weird weekend, we still believe the future looks bright. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.